with Terry Bradshaw here at RFK. And Terry, last week the Cardinals finally winning one under their new coach Gene Stallings to move to 1-5. And Stump Mitchell having a big day for the Cardinals in the old spot held down by O.J. Anderson now with the Giants. Defensively, they are the number 3 team in the entire NFL, despite the fact they're 1-5. That could prove to be a problem for young Jay Schrader.
Well, also they're number 1 in pass defense, Tim, and the thing going for the Cardinals, of course, is confidence. Schrader today has got a major problem. The last 2 weeks have not exactly been the kind of weeks he would really like to have. Teams are starting to blitz him more, and he's had difficulty hitting the big plays, hitting the receivers when they've been wide open. Last week against the Cowboys, a number of times they blitzed, and he missed them. Today, hey, but wait a minute, folks, he's only starting his 12th game, so he's just a baby. But today, look for the Cardinals to blitz him and blitz him a lot, and we'll just have to wait and see whether or not Jay Schrader can handle that blitz.
All right, Terry, and the Cardinals have won the toss as we see Jay Schrader getting ready to start against the Cardinals today. This young quarterback who's gotten off to such an incredible start since taking over from Joe Theismann when he went down during last season. But the last couple of weeks, as Terry pointed out, struggling a bit. Steve Cox will kick it off for the Washington Redskins at home in their white uniforms. The Cardinals will receive with the exciting young rookie from BYU, Vi Sikahema, number 36, the deep man. Sikahema currently second in the NFC and the kickoff return department, averaging 25.2 yards a carry. Third in the NFC. He has created some excitement. And a good return for Sikahema up to the 28-yard line of St. Louis. And he stopped there by linebacker Joe Krakowski, a 27-yard return. And Neil Lomax leads out the Cardinals against the tough Washington Redskins defense. Charles Mann, Dave Butt, Dean Hamill, and Dexter Manley in the front 4. And the linebackers Calvin Daniels for the injured Kaufman-Coleman combination. Neil Olkowitz playing hurt. And on the right side in the lot, Green Coffey, Curtis Jordan, and Vernon Dean. And Vernon Dean also with a bit of a sore knee. So the Redskins are somewhat banged up. And of course the Cardinals without the great Roy Green and Pat Tilley gone for the year. Green they hope to have back soon. First down, they tried to swing it out to Mitchell, but the traffic was there as Charles Mann ranged out and fouled things up, and then the linebackers Olkowitz and Daniels got some pressure on Lomax. Lomax with Stump Mitchell in the backfield with Earl Farrell. The fullback, J.T. Smith, and Chaz Fox, a rookie, the wide receivers. Across the front, Louis Sharp, Derek Kennard for the injured Doug Dawson, Randy Clark, Joe Bostic, and Lance Smith. Joe Bostic, brother of Jeff Bostic of the Washington Redskins. They won't be banging heads today since they both play offense. 2nd and 10, St. Louis. Earl Farrell in motion. Mitchell. Jordan in pursuit. He breaks that tackle and tries to get near the first down marker. It'll wind up about an 8.5-yard gain for Stump Mitchell.
You can see automatically, excuse me, Tim, already the first 2 plays, the Redskins have come out and what they call sent 2 linebackers. One time they had a pass and a good job by Mann of covering the back out of the backfield. The next time they blitzed again. They got the ball out to Mitchell, and then the number 1 tackler for the Redskins comes up, Curtis Jordan, and makes a stop.
It's going to leave a 3rd and a yard and a half. The ball at the 36-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals. J.T. Smith comes split out wide right, number 84. They're in the eye. And it's Farrell has the first down. Hard driving work by the 220-pounder from East Tennessee State, and Dave Butt making his 166th start.
One of the ways you like to play against a guy like Dave Butts is you try to go right at him. Such a big, strong tackle that if you run away, he just knocks guards down. So the best way to really play him, Tim, is to go right at him that time and just, boom, came off the ball and drove right at him and got the first down.
6'7", 300 pounds. I mean, he is an awesome guy. Obviously bigger with his pads on, but when you see him in person, you still take notice. He's a giant. First down, Redskins at the 40-yard line. Sunny skies here in the nation's capital. Absolutely beautiful day for football. First down for the St. Louis Cardinals at the 40-yard line. And in motion now comes Mitchell, and straight ahead is Farrell. It's about a yard and a half, maybe 2. Running behind the left guard, Derek Kennard, first-year man out of Nevada, Reno.
You got to wonder if the coaching staff of the Cardinals said, well, we've tried 2 plays, and the Redskins blitz. So what Stallings is doing now is he came out with his running attack team and said, well, one way you can stop blitzing linebackers is to run. Just run the football and go right at them. That time a little trap off the left side didn't get them a lot, but what they're trying to do is slow down the Redskins, playing with them, chess match, make them guess what we're going to do next.
Got him 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8. Stallings in his rookie season as a head coach in the NFL after all those years at Dallas under Tom Landry. Happened to be a head coach. Charles Mann and Rich Nalat combining the sack. Neil Lomax. Loss of about 7.
One of the things they have to do today, the Cardinals, they have to give Lomax time. Last week he had time to throw the football. Against the Giants, 7 sacks. Today, this is his 2nd attempt to pass. First time they blitz, no good. This time, good pressure by Malott and Mann as they make the sack.
And that down line has been joined by pass rusher Steve Hamilton. Gary Wilburn has come into the secondary for the Redskins. 3rd down and 15. Opening offensive series for the St. Louis Cardinals. They go to the shotgun. Troy Johnson comes in to join Chaz Fox and J.T. Smith at wide receiver. Deep sideliner overthrows J.T. Smith. And the Cardinals will have to punt.
See in Lomax's eyes, he's wondering, why didn't I complete that? He went to the right guy. He was the only Smith was the only one that was single covered that time. Green had him man for man all over the field. He beat Green, got outside, and Neal was unable to get the ball to him.
Greg Cater comes in to punt. He's the new Cardinal punter. And it's Ken Jenkins, the deep man. Cater, last week, 3 punts for the Star, 41.3. He used to play with Buffalo and then in the USFL. Jenkins at the 16-yard line, and he gets out to the 25. Stopped by Cedric Mack, and the Redskins will have the ball for the first time with 12:31 to play first period. Tim Ryan and Terry Bradshaw at RFK Stadium in Washington, where the Redskins will have their first possession starting from their 5-yard line, having stopped the Cardinals on their first offensive try. Jay Schrader has dropped below 50% completion with 12 of 29 against Dallas last week, along with an interception. The last couple of weeks, the youngster has been a little more hesitant, a little shaky. And that must be a source of some concern for Joe Gibbs, although obviously this young man having such a great start has got a great future ahead of him. First down and 10. The window dressing shown on the very first down with a shift to the right side. They give it to George Rogers. Good hole for Rogers, plowing out to the 29-yard line. A gain of 4 where Al Baker, number 60, makes the stop. Defensively for the Cardinals, Bob Clasby gets the start at left end for Stafford Mays today. David Galloway, outstanding nose man, and Al Baker, the pass rusher on the right side. Freddie Joe Nunn, E.J. Jr., Nico Noga, and Charlie Baker, an active group of linebackers. Lionel Washington, Leonard Smith, Lonnie Young, and Cedric Mack starting today ahead of Wayne Smith on the right corner. 2 defensive changes in the starting lineup for the Cardinals, and Clasby and Mack. 2nd down. They swing it out complete. Art Monk on the near sideline for the Redskin first down, pushed out of bounds by Lionel Washington as we see Jay Schrader. The young quarterback, as Terry pointed out, in just his 12th NFL start. He has George Rogers at running back, Monk, Clark, Warren, and Didier, the receivers. And across the front, that huge offensive line, Jacoby Grimm, Jeff Bostic, R.C. Thielman back at right guard, and Mark May. Thielman still suffering from the effects of the knee injury he suffered last year. He told me on Saturday that he's about 95% now and feeling a lot better. Still swells up after games, however, once he's had some contact on it. Rogers straight ahead. Gets close to the 40-yard line, but stacked up. Bubba Baker is there, and underneath the pile, Lionel Washington. And the initial contact made by Nico Noga, the linebacker.
Nico Noga, Tim, last night I was asking him about playing this football team, and you get fired up playing the Redskins knowing that Rogers rushed for a team record 206 yards. And he very simply looked at me and he said, I'm aggressive. I'm excited about playing. I don't worry about Rogers. I don't worry about records. I'm just happy to have a job. I'm happy to be out here playing. That's all he said the whole 15 minutes.
Rogers had that 206 against St. Louis, setting the Redskin club record. They'd like to erase that by stuffing him today. Here's Rogers. He picked up about 3 more close to the 45-yard line. So Noga is certainly a very aggressive and enthusiastic linebacker. And he seems to feel that it's his role to keep the other 3 linebackers pepped up. In fact, he says he even talks to the down lineman. He's accepted the role of being a leader out there, and that's terrific for a youngster in his first year as an inside linebacker, a starter, 3 years out of Hawaii. Nico Noga from Samoa. 3rd down, about 1.5 yards. Redskins in the I formation. Warren the lead back, and Rodgers has the 1st down out to the 48-yard line. So grinding it out here on their first offensive series. A 1st down, Washington, with E.J. Jr. and Lonnie Young on the tackle for the Cardinals.
This is smart football, Tim, but what they're doing, what the Redskins are doing is driving the football, running the football, killing the clock, and at the same time, they're not making any mistakes. They're getting this defense, they're pounding and wearing them down a little bit, and then Schrader can hit those short passes, bring them up, and then he can go deep.
Only 1 pass by Schrader so far, completed to Art Monk. It's 1st down now at the 48. And he'll throw. Schrader up the middle, complete to Monk, crossing, and he fakes it out to Washington, and has a 1st down inside the 40 of St. Louis. Leonard Smith stopped him there. Nice move by Monk after he'd been hit.
Blitzing linebacker once again, isolating Monk man for man on the strong safety, Leonard Smith. Schrader's nice short drop. He sits in the pocket, finds his receiver. There's the catch right there. Smith is on top of it. But look at the strength that Monk shows as he throws him off and then cuts back inside, picks up extra yardage.
1st down at the 39-yard line of St. Louis. Redskins in the I formation. Pitch out to Art Monk, and Monk bobbles the ball. Monk comes up with it and picks up about 2. Not sure he would have gone any farther had he made the right reception with it, but nonetheless a good recovery. E.J. Jr. forced him out of bounds, lining up Monk in the tailback position in the I.
I watched some college games yesterday, and I noticed these teams were doing the normal basic offense, and then they would get down into scoring territory or somewhere, make a big play, and then, Tim, they'd go to an option or something crazy that didn't even fit their quarterback or their offense, and they fumble. And now Washington's driving, and they come out with a gadget play with Monk running the football. And, it doesn't really make a lot of sense in the first quarter.
Heath Griffin has come in Rodgers' spot. Monk comes wide left. They line up 2 tight ends on the left wing. Schrader trying to get it to Clark, almost intercepted. Clark, it's incomplete. Clark came up with the ball, but it had already hit the ground. Lionel Washington dove in there trying to make the intercept. Managed to break up the play.
You're going to see, right, the ball is thrown low. It's a good direction, leading the receiver back away from the defensive back, but Clark falls down. The ball is low, and it's incomplete. One of the problems I think that a strong-armed quarterback like Schrader has, Tim, it's so easy to wait till a receiver gets open and then zoom, just zing it in there with all that power. As a guy like Montana who will anticipate and lays it in there before he makes his break, guys like Schrader like to wait and then drive it in there when he's open.
Got a timeout on the field at the moment here before they get 3rd down off. And Schrader's talked to us about that in the past. He says that's what he likes to do, at least at this stage of his career. He was comparing himself to Fouts in that San Diego game, saying, Fouts, I know he throws the ball, he's anticipating the breaks. He said, I like to wait and burn it in there. We saw an example of it there.
Well, the Raiders are big for that. They like for their quarterbacks to wait till they see both numbers on the jersey of the receiver. In this case, when you have a cannon like this guy, I prefer waiting till they're open. That way they're open, and then you gun it in there.
Evidently, they have had an instant replay call on that last catch. Clark saying that he had caught the ball, but he didn't seem to protest too heavily.
After further review, the play stands incomplete. 3rd down.
Referee Jerry Markwright consulting with replay official Paul Trapinski.
The only problem I can see there is that the ball looks like it hit the ground. I don't think he made the catch, and his hands, to me, appear to be further apart. Had they been underneath the ball, maybe it was a question. But
well, it stands, and that was the delay. 3rd down, and intended for the tight end Didier, overthrown on the coverage number 43, the safety Lonnie Young. And the Redskins come up with a 4th down. I didn't seem to think there was much of a question on that reception at all, but I guess because Clark came jumping up with it. Now let's see what happens on the last play.
45. As you can see, he's coming in. Leonard Smith, strong safety, blitzing up inside to get the pressure on Schrader. Now, Schrader did a good job of standing in there, but he felt that pressure, Tim, and he had to throw that football a little bit before he really wanted to.
So there's an example of what you expected in your comments at the top of the game, Terry. They're going after him, and he was unable to connect to Didier. So Cox is into punt. By Sikahema. We'll just watch this one go. And Cox gets it high beautifully. Let's see which way it bounces. It comes down, and it's down at the 3-yard line. Anthony Jones, number 82. What a punt by Cox. 35 yards, most of it straight up. He got the job done, and the Cardinals start from tough territory. Whether the Redskins seem to think that there was a question whether that play was going to stand, but it's going to be a first down for the Cardinals, and they're going to be starting from their 2-yard line.
Little deja vu here. Last week in Dallas, they had that football down on the Cowboys did on about the 1-foot line. 4 plays later, touchdown. So it'll be interesting to see how the Cardinals react and respond to being this far back in the hole.
Well, now the Redskins have the football. Apparently the ball touched a Cardinal. Now, I haven't seen that yet, but it's going to be Washington ball at the 2-yard line.
All I see is Jones getting a fumble recovery. There's the
ball.
Well,
might have touched that Cardinal who was down there, number 41, trying to make a play to keep the Redskins off.
They said it hit Carl Carter, but it had to have hit him on the foot, on his heel, as he was running past the football. But I didn't see it hit his back or his shoulder or anything.
What an enormous break.
The punt struck a St. Louis receiver on the leg, recovered by Washington. First down.
Well, that's what happened, and evidently from that picture, it was Carl Carter, the rookie, who was back there just to protect the ball and block if necessary, and had the misfortune of having it hit him.
Let's see, Tim. Now, there's the football hit him on his left leg right there. And you can't see it when he was going down. Looked like just a normal good kick.
So the Redskins have it first and goal at the 2-yard line. Rogers, touchdown. So George Rogers with a 2-yard touchdown opens the scoring here at RFK Stadium on a strange turn of events. A perfect punt by Cox. They would have been happy to have St. Louis starting first down from their 2-yard line, and they wind up with the ball hitting Carl Carter, bouncing right into Anthony Jones' hands. And Max Zendejas will make his first point after attempt for the Washington Redskins. The new place kicker, replacing Mark Mosley, is released this week. He's got it. That gets some extra applause as the Redskin fans welcome Max Zendejas. There's George Rogers, the 10th straight game he scored a rushing touchdown, 6th on the all-time NFL list. We'll be back. Tim Ryan and Terry Bradshaw in Washington, where the Redskins have received a tremendous break, and Gene Stallings questioning the referee, Jerry Markwright, on what happened on the Cox punt. And he obviously has an opinion that he's stating here.
He's questioning, how can you make a call like that? Nobody on our team touched the football. I've gone and I've talked to my man, and he has told me, he said that, Coach, I didn't touch the football. He said, yes, you did. Okay, fine.
All right. And the kickoff goes through the end zone. Sikahema had no chance to make a play. So it'll come back to the 20-yard line where the Cardinals will start. Let's go back and take another look at the punt. Perfectly positioned punt by Cox. He even got a great bounce on it. But the best part of the bounce was that evidently it hit Carter, the rookie, Carl Carter. There you see number 41.
It evidently hits him right on his right leg. He doesn't even see it. He's downfield trying to make a block. He doesn't even see it. He's taught to go down and get behind the football at the 1-yard line and knock it back. In that case, he was behind the football. The ball hit right by him and hit his leg.
So it is first down St. Louis. Earl Farrell and Stump Mitchell in the I formation. Mitchell 126 yards against Tampa Bay last week after the controversial game against New York. And And Mitchell picks up about 3 out the left side. Dean Hamill made the stop. And now let's take you to Brent Musburger in New York for an update on the Bears-Vikings game. Said that McMahon could play today if necessary. Didn't practice during the week. Fuller got the start. We'll be watching that game with interest after the early miscue by Fuller. Second down. 7 to go here in Washington. Mitchell again. Got some running room this time and has a first down. Over the 30-yard line, Rich Malott stops him there, number 57. But first down, Cardinals on hard running by Stump Mitchell.
One of the things you like in a two-back offense, and this is what is being featured by the Cardinals, is you must have a guy that can block for the other guy, not be selfish. That time Farrell gets out front, 31, and he leads away. Look at the nice kick-out block on the linebacker. There's the kick-out block on Malott. He allows number 30, Mitchell, get up inside and struggle for the first down. That's what you like to see.
There's a guy that had 1,000 yards in a backup role last year for St. Louis, and in Gene Stallings' mind, he deserves to be the starter on this team. And that's the deal for Anderson to the Giants. Farrell. What a piece of running by Farrell. A great hole at the point of attack. And did he take advantage? Earl Farrell.
I often wonder, how in the world can you hand the football to a back that's up in all that mess inside, and then all of a sudden, poof, out they pop, and they're down into the secondary picking up 10, 11 yards. That time, Farrell up inside, dipped to the left, found a hole, and got a first down.
First down out to the 42-yard line. A 12-yard pickup by Earl Farrell. And again, also with the Anderson situation, Farrell now will be more of a factor in this offense. He's a good blocker for Mitchell, but he'll also get to carry the ball more often. He's got 238 yards coming into this game through the first 6 of the season. Mitchell trying to slide through. The Redskins poured in defensively. The charge led by Mann and Hamill, and then Olkowitz made the stop. So there'll be a loss of about a yard on the play. Solid defensive work by the Redskins front four.
Dean Hamill working well there with Butts. The thing they did that time was because of the success of the offensive line of the Cardinals, driving them off with their zone or man blocking. They came that time with little stunts, confused them.
Lomax is 0 for 2 passing. The groundwork done by Mitchell and Farrell has been the offense thus far. 2nd and 11 this time, however. Good shot to Mitchell. They bring him to the right side. Charles Mann cuts him off, and again, the Redskins' powerful defense, shedding blockers and closing down the outside for Mitchell. Charles Mann leading it.
Key here is Mann's penetration as he beats Lance Smith to tackle. Now he gets outside and knocks down Farrell's block, and now he's in the backfield. There's no one back there to block him. He cuts the running back back inside, and everyone's sitting there waiting on him.
Mann's been bothered by a knee injury, and Steve Hamilton had a start for him. But Mann obviously feeling better. He was real quick on that one. It's the 3rd and 13 now. Fox, Smith, and Johnson, 3 wide receivers. Lomax airs it out, and it is incomplete. Just off the fingertips of Troy Johnson, the first-year man from Southern. He and Chaz Fox, 2 of those young free agent receivers that they've been forced to use with the absence of Pat Tilley, who's now gone for the year after back surgery this week, and Roy Green coming off foot surgery. They hope to have him back soon.
Man-for-man coverage. It's just he's trailing. Look, you can see that Johnson's got him by a step. But, boy, this is great extension by Wilburn as he leaps forward and knocks the football away. This guy intercepted 2 passes, and then last week the Redskins declined one of his interceptions, Tim. I wonder if he had a bonus in his contract. Says if I get so many interceptions, you know, now they've taken one away.
Gators punt. Oh, a dandy. Backcourt is Jenkins. The flag is down, downfield. And Jenkins, open field tackle by Charlie Baker, pulls him down at the 23-yard line. A flag down, however, as the ball was in the air, the flag thrown downfield. And Jerry Markwright will come down to let us know what the infraction was. A 46-yard punt by Cater. New punter and new kicker this year for St. Louis, and Cater a recent addition, signed as a free agent. Last played in the USFL, and as we mentioned earlier, you may remember him from his years with the Buffalo Bills from 1980 to 83.
Holding number 45, receiving team, while the kick was in the air. First down, timeout.
Wilburn grabbed onto somebody as the ball was in the air. So the ball backed up to the 8-yard line where the Redskins will start with 3:23 to go in the first period. They lead 7-0. Redskins with a penalty on the punt have to start from their 8-yard line. First down. Let's see what they do here. More interestingly, let's see what the Cardinals do defensively. First down. In motion, they put Monk. Good protection. And it's for Gary Clark. In and out of his hands on a tough hit from Leonard Smith.
One of the passes, Tim, that they like to use in Washington is the pump. That time, Didier was on the right. Schrader makes the pump. Didier is wide open. Now he comes through the middle. Now watch this. Schrader back, little halfway fake to Rodgers. Looking to his left, he sees his man is open, throws off balance. Now he throws off his back foot, which when you do that, you can't throw the football with any velocity. Now he's got a strong arm, but the ball floats and allows the defensive back the opportunity to get there, Smith, and knock the ball away.
Put a good hit on Gary Clark. Leonard Smith, a 4-year man from East State, number 1 pick in 1983. He's a tough guy in the secondary. Second and 10. Off in motion again, followed by Lionel Washington. Schrader hits Gary Clark again. He holds on this time, and he looks to have the first down. Yes, he does at the 20-yard line. Hit by Cedric Mack, the right corner, number 47. But Clark gets the first down with a 12-yard gain.
You're seeing Monk go in motion. You're seeing Clark go in motion. The reason the Redskins will do this, it allows Schrader the opportunity to see if someone runs with him. Now, if a back runs with him, then it means it's man. He comes out, he sees the man run with him, boom, he hits Clark with a football.
So the Redskins get out from the shadow of their goal post, and they're at the 20-yard line. 21 make it. First down. They lead 7-0 here in the first period. Rodgers running behind the left guard. Russ Grimm picks up about 2, maybe 3 yards. And we've got more word from the Bears game. Let's go. Tommy Kramer looked good on that one. And that A.C. Carter, boy, he is exciting. Anthony Carter. So the Vikings, who talked confidently about their prospects against the Bears, and last week in San Francisco, Schrader, deep drop, has to throw it out of bounds. The coverage on the sideline, a late flag is down. There weren't too many receivers over there in the direction where he threw the ball, Terry. Let's see what the call is.
Stafford Mays, defensive left end. There it is. Washington.
Penalty against the Redskins.
Mays was forcing a pressure on Schrader that time, and Jay had to get rid of the football. And then a young quarterback, you know you're going to get sacked, get rid of the football, throw it out of bounds, and that's exactly what he did.
Ineligible receiver downfield was the call against Washington. And we could see that as it developed. There were no wide receivers in the area.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the pass. Number 53, offense. Penalty decline. Third down.
That tells you right off the bat they had a screen. They got their lineman pulling out. It took a long time to develop because of the pressure on Schrader. It forced him out of the pocket and messed up the timing on the screen. Bostic caught downfield.
Yeah, you could see he took that big, deep drop there that looked like screen, that kind of hesitation, and then the deep drop. But it just was a miscue and well played defensively by St. Louis. So it is third down and about 9 yards to go. The game has not established a tempo for itself as the defenses have dominated this far. Good protection. He's got Clark. A flag down again. Clark has the first down yardage. Takes the hit from Dennis Thurman, the former Cowboy, number 32. Got a flag on the play. Thurman, if you St. Louis fans are wondering, has switched his jersey number from 23 to his old Dallas number 32. 12-yard gain.
Holding, number 47, defense, penalty decline, first down.
Cedric Mack picks up the holding penalty. Now remember, he's starting on the corner for the first time today ahead of Wayne Smith.
They like him over there because of he's made the dramatic plays. Last week, knocking that touchdown pass away by Young. He's made the big plays. That's the reason he got the start this week over Wayne Smith.
First down, Washington at the 34-yard line of the Cardinals. Rodgers explodes in there and picks up 9. Hauled down by Lonnie Young, number 43, the free safety.
Thing that's so outstanding about Rodgers and all the great Redskin running backs is their ability to cut back. As you see, Schrader opens up, Rodgers to the right. Now he senses the hole, cuts back against the floor of the linebackers. Then Lonnie Young and Smith have to come up and make the stop.
Rodgers had to come out of the Dallas game last week with an ankle injury, but running at full speed it appears today. Second down and a yard for the Redskins. Rodgers has the first down to the 45-yard line. The Redskins swept the Cardinals last season. They've won 8 of the last 9 played between these two East Division rivals. And Washington leads the overall series 45 games to 30 with one tie that goes all the way back to 1937, an old and honored series, the Redskins and the Cardinals. Sellout crowd here at RFK, which is no surprise. Their 153rd straight sellout. There's that Minnesota score, 13-0 over the Bears. Dallas in front of Philadelphia. We'll keep you updated on that score in terms of both these teams in the NFC East Division. First down, Washington. He's got a man open up the left side. He's got Monk, and Monk has a first down again. Monk had a lot of real estate to work in there, Terry.
What they're doing on first down now, they've been running the football, and they've taken the Cardinals out of blitzing, taking them out of their man coverage. They're going into the zones, and they're doing a good job of getting the ball to their backs, letting them cut back up inside.
We come to the end of the first quarter. Washington in front, 7-0. Tim Ryan with Terry Bradshaw, sold out RFK Stadium. Beautiful fall afternoon. The Redskins happy to be home and leading here, 7-0. They got a great break to get that 7 points. Cox's punt hit a Cardinal at the 2-yard line. Washington possession. Rogers scored. Beginning the second period. First down at the 45 of St. Louis, and Rogers met at the pass by E.J. Jr. There'll be a loss on the play. Good defensive work by the Cardinals there. A little different look from this Washington offense, Terry, than what we've seen through the early part of the season.
Well, early part of the year, they had the tendency to go deep, and they made success. They won their football games by hitting big plays in the last couple of minutes of the fourth quarter with Schrader's arm. Now that's kind of backfired, and you can see today that they're picking away. Pick here, a little pick there, and then they're hitting that football in there 8 yards, 10 yards, and they're keeping the ball, and they're moving it down the football. This is Redskin football.
This is their style, and it uses up the clock at the same time. Now the shift to the left with a slot formation, Warren on the wing. Slater buys some time off the left side, comes back the other way to Monk. To the 14-yard line, Art Monk. Noga finally made the stop at a 33-yard gain, and that is a Washington play that the Cardinals should have seen from the game tapes because they use it fairly frequently.
You're going to see Schrader sprint to the left. All he's doing here is giving himself time. Easy blocks outside. Now he's reading the left side, and now Monk senses it, and he goes back across the flow and forces a linebacker to pick him up. Impossible to do. Good job by Monk. Good job by Schrader picking him up and getting the football to him.
Big play by the Redskins, the kind that they had been using in the early games we've just been talking about, and they strike to the 15 in the first down. Rogers again on the run, 2 plays in a row. Good defensive work by the St. Louis Cardinals, and the safety man Leonard Smith leading the charge, number 45.
Well, the interesting thing was that Leonard Smith came up to take on the force, but Lonnie Young, the weak safety, also came up to make the tackle. See, Lonnie Young, 43, and he's penetrating. Look at Smith. He's penetrating. Now, if I were a quarterback and I said, oh, he's sending these linebackers, they're sending these safeties, come out, strong side play action, boom, hit that flanker on a quick slant, touchdown.
All right, the Bradshaw offense from the 17-yard line. Let's see if he mentally telepathizes it down there to Schrader.
I like that. Good word. Blitz.
Lots of time. Complete to Monk. Touchdown. Twice now, Art Monk has spun away from the unfortunate Lionel Washington, this time for a big 6.
All-out blitz once again. Lonnie Young, 43, the weak safety on the left of your screen, folks. Blitzing, linebackers, E.J. Jr. blitzing. It's man-to-man coverage outside as Monk beats his man, gets back inside, makes the catch, touchdown.
Lionel Washington has had the misfortune of having to pick up Monk when he's been in motion. He's been assigned to follow him around, and Monk has been making hay, and the point after good by Zendejas. It is 14-0 Redskins. Tim Ryan and Terry Bradshaw, as we see the Washington Redskins up 14-0. Art Monk on the 16-yard touchdown pass from Jay Schrader. And the Redskins with an effective drive, mixing in the run, the short pass, the one long one to Monk for 33 yards. And look what they used up on the clock, Terry. 5:53. Cox's kickoff. Taken by Sikahema at the 4-yard line. And the 23, the young Tongan, really took a rap. Krakowski, the linebacker, number 54, activated a couple of weeks ago off injured reserve. He's a backup, but obviously a big man on the special. So the Cardinals, with Neil Lomax 0 for 3 in the passing department, will try again here now from the 24-yard line. Mitchell and Farrell in the pro set. And booing the Dallas score. They're leading the Eagles, who can pick up on the scoreboard here in RFK. No Cowboy fans in this building. First down, swing pass. Mitchell's got the running room. Mitchell over the 25, picks his way to the 27, and then runs out of real estate. And the lot and Jordan are the ones to cut him off.
You got to wonder if that was an audible. The Redskins that time had an over line where they sent both their tackles to the strong side. It looked like that time Lomax audible to a wide flare to the left, which gives him the opportunity to get his back out there. In that case, it would have been Mitchell one-on-one with the linebacker, and hopefully he can pick up some big yardage.
So Lomax completes his first pass. He's now 1 for 4. And it is a gain of just a couple of yards as it turns out. 7 and 8. Mitchell. Wide right, cuts it upfield. Whittle can do a tackle on him. He gets about 2 as Charles Mann made the stop on Stump Mitchell. 5'9", 200-pounder from the Citadel. The number 9 pick in 1981. He's been Otis Anderson's caddy until 2 weeks ago. Actually, last week, his first start, the trade of Anderson to New York, and Mitchell, a close friend of Anderson's, upset by the trade, but he's now the main man, and he has to be happy that he's the top gun in the running department. Walton Wilburn, the secondary on the obvious passing down, 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun, and some early movement. Were they drawn? Or were they offside?
Looked like the tackle, Lance Smith, that time. Right tackle, Smitty. Lance Smith says, hold it. He drops back and going to get a little illegal procedure.
False start, number 61, offense.
61 is Lance Smith, the second-year man from LSU. He was a third choice a year ago and was playing behind Tootie Robbins, the veteran out of East Carolina, but Robbins a holdout this year, and they've moved Lance Smith into his spot. Robbins ultimately signed, but hasn't been able to get his job back. So a credit to Lance Smith for his work ethic and taking advantage of the opportunity. He's still the starter at right tackle for Team Solomon. 3rd down and 10 out of the shotgun. J.T. Smith, what a play by Darrell Green, number 28. Looked up at exactly the right moment, Terry. There was the ball, and he knocked it down, nearly had himself an intercept.
Cornerbacks love the opportunity to make spectacular plays. They love that Green's a guy that loves to be out there isolating me. Let me have an opportunity to either get burned or let me make a great play. Smith got him beat. I mean, clearly beats him to the corner, and then Green with that great speed. Look at this move. Goes up with the right hand just at the end, at the very end, and knocks the ball away. Now that's frustrating for a quarterback and receiver.
Greg Cater, the punter, standing at the 10-yard line. Ken Jenkins waiting for it at the Washington 35. A low snap from DiBernardo, and a short punt as a result. Jenkins gets over the midfield stripe and battles forward for another 2 or 3. Good effort by Jenkins. So Washington in St. Louis territory after a 32-yard punt, and they lead 14-0.
See Gene Stallings there with Jim Schaffner, his offensive coordinator. They're talking over a play, but the thing that's concerned Stalling the most has been his special teams. A bad snap that time and almost a blocked punt forced his punter to make a bad kick. And then earlier in the game, as you saw, Carl Carter, number 41, get hit on the leg to give Washington the ball on the 2-yard line, and they scored.
So it's first down Redskins in St. Louis territory at the 48-yard line of the Cardinals. Lots of movement as usual. Oh, good defensive play. And that was big number 65, David Galloway, the nose tackle from Florida, making the stop.
I stood next to him last night in the hotel, and I asked him, I said, David, stand up. So he stood up, and I sized him up pretty good, and he's a pretty good guy to size up. And I said, my legs are bigger than yours. And we compared legs, and I think I hurt his feelings a little bit, but my legs weren't big.
Listen, you left out something. The first thing he said when he spotted you in the hotel lobby was, there's a quarterback, hit him.
I jumped in my karate stance, and there it is.
So David had a game face on last night. Gain of about 2 on the second effort, despite that good defensive play. Oh, big hole. First down Redskins to the 32-yard line.
Mark May, right tackle, as you can see in the left, they're driving down. Notice how they drive down and then pull the guard, and then all of a sudden inside cuts Rogers. No one there, and it's a foot race. Finally, 43, Lonnie Young makes the stop.
Freddie Joe Nunn, you saw at the beginning of that replay, the linebacker number 53 just got kicked outside, and Rogers had a pole he could drive a truck through. He took advantage with that big burst of speed he has. Such an explosive start. He starts a yard and a half deeper than John Riggins did in the same position because he gets to the line in such a hurry. Here he is again. Picking his way this time. Shut down after a gain of maybe 3. Ron Monaco in at linebacker number 59. And Leonard Smith, the safety number 45.
Big left tackle, Joe Jacoby, that time 66. As he pulled, and one of the things Rogers is doing is getting in Jacoby's hip and then cutting. Now, one of the problems that can happen, it just happened that time. Rogers, instead of reading the hole, is anticipating them being a hole, and Tim, there isn't one that time. Good job by the Cardinals.
Monaco, we noticed, is in for E.J. Jr. Find out if anything wrong with Jr. Second down and 8. Schrader has it, and Didier. First down to the 15-yard line of St. Louis.
Gosh, all of a sudden you're worrying about Monk, you're worried about Clark, you worry about Rogers, and you forget about Didier. They come out this time, flood the left side, little play action, not much of one. Didier on a quick slant, he's wide open. Leonard Smith has to come up and make the stop.
E.J. Jr. back in for Monaco. His starting spot defensively, and apparently had a bruised rib, but Monaco burned a little on that play, and E.J. got himself back in there. Rogers miles ahead to the 10-yard line. And we're seeing a classic display of the Washington offensive style, mixing the runs and short passes. A flag down on that play. An illegal motion will be called against the Redskins.
So Don Warren, the tight end, as he jumped offside.
Motion, number 85, offense, first down.
That's Warren's way of saying to Schrader, look, I'm sick and tired of all this blocking I'm having to do. And all the players in practice the other day were walking up to Schrader and saying, hey, look, we know you love Didier and all these guys, but when are you going to throw the ball to Warren? And they just laughed. But Warren said, really, throw me the football. That time he said, look, this is my way of letting you know you better throw me the ball.
He's only had 3 catches, so he's got a right to complain. First down and 15 Redskins. Monk in motion. Play action pass. Schrader sails it to the corner, and it is incomplete. Diving play by Cedric Mack to knock the ball away, and the two of them tumble into the corner of the end zone, and Mack came down on his wrist, it appears, and he is hurt.
This is the reason they wanted Mack in the defense. He makes great plays. He makes the unbelievable plays. He's the kind of guy that may get burned, but the thing he'll do for you is he'll make a spectacular defensive play. That time, Monk had him by a step, and right at the very end, Cedric Mack got up with his arm and knocked the ball away.
4-year man from Baylor, has played some at wide receiver under Jim Hannafin, and then Stallings had him over there in the preseason for some of the time.
As you can see, he's got Monk man for man, got him covered well, and right at the end, he puts his right arm out, knocks it down. Now his left arm hits the ground, and it looks like he rolls over on it.
Well, we'll be back with a timeout here at RFK Stadium. Washington in front, 14-0. Cedric Mack with a big defensive play on Art Monk, and you can see that he's being attended to over there, and it may be that it was his shoulder that he landed on. It has not gone off, obviously, to be examined as yet. Wayne Smith comes in to replace him. 2nd and 15 for the Redskins. Schrader gets lots of time. Up the middle for Didier.
number 44 of the Cardinals. It's against Smith. I can see the Redskins jumping up and down.
Holding, number 44, defense, penalty decline, touchdown.
21-yard touchdown, a perfect strike from Schrader to Didier, and a fine fingertip catch by the tight end, Wayne Smith, in a physical mismatch against the big tight end Didier.
You got to be impressed with the nice soft touch that Schrader shows here. The guy with the strong arm. Something he has to learn how to do. Nice little lob right over the linebackers. Smith got his man. Good job by Didier as he beats Smith and then makes a great grab.
Point after is good by Zendejas. And the Redskins move to a 21-0 lead here, and we still have 7:32 to play in the first half at RFK Stadium. 2 touchdown passes by Jay Schrader. And Clint Didier, a former teammate of the Cardinal quarterback Neil Lomax at Portland State. And there is Lomax, perhaps as Terry was just speculating, saying, gosh, I wish I had that guy on my team. Didier, an outstanding pass-catching tight end, a 21-yard touchdown from Jay Schrader. Well, if there were some doubts creeping in the minds of Redskins fans about young Schrader because of the last couple of weeks, a difficult day in the victory over New Orleans, and not a good day at all against Dallas in the losing cause, today he's been solid.
Well, the thing that he's obviously, he's a fast learner. He's a kid that's pretty tough-skinned, and he's overcome those problems. He learned from them in Dallas. Come out today, they flipped him. He's handled very well.
Picture perfect by Sikanema, taking the kickoff 5 yards deep, and he was backing up and wisely decided to down the ball in there rather than try to bring it out. So the Cardinals will start from the 20-yard line, trailing 21-0. Next week on CBS Sports coverage of college football, you will see either of these 2 games, USC against Stanford in Pac-10 action, or Clemson against North Carolina State. Live at 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central. USC and Stanford, or Clemson against North Carolina State. Our college football coverage continues, and we have had some dandies. Stump Mitchell nowhere to go out the right side. No gain on the play. Charles Mann has spent a lot of time talking to Stump Mitchell from a very close-up position today.
Well, you know, I was the other day at training camp, and I was talking to Pettibone. I said, what are you going to do? He said, well, you know the thing we're going to do against St. Louis, we're going to take away the thing they did best last week. What did they do best last week? Well, Lomax threw the ball well, and Mitchell ran the ball well. Right now, they're doing a good job of isolating on Mitchell and stopping him.
Second and 10. Out of the throw set. Lomax, short spot. Can't find an open man. From the blind side, just as he started to take off, Dexter Manley came up with a sack.
One of the problems that you're going to have with an offensive receiving core that the Cardinals have is Neil came out and he saw the adjustment. What happened was he wanted his receivers to make an adjustment. Now there he's looking, make an adjustment. There's the punt. They don't do anything. He's forced to move and look somewhere else. This is one of the problems you have, Tim, when you have young receivers that are in. Chaz Fox, 86 is one, Smith the other. Young kids have to make those adjustments on the movement. That time they just weren't able to do it.
Stalling looking on with some frustration now. Third and about 16 for his Cardinals, backed up to the 14-yard line. A lot of defensive work by the Redskins, and a flag down for delay of game, I assume.
Timeout.
Oh, a timeout. They were getting down near that.
First charge timeout, St. Louis.
They were getting down near that 0 mark. Wound up taking the timeout.
One of the points I want to get on that again is that this guy, Lomax, doesn't have Green, one of the greatest receivers in the National Football League. He doesn't have Tilley, one of the finest, well, I hate to use the word possession, but he's a good little nifty receiver. You know, between the two of them, over their career, they've averaged over 56% of all total offensive yards between those two guys. Hey, that's a lot. And Anderson, that's a lot of yardage. And when you lose 2 great receivers like that, the confidence for a quarterback just boom, right down to the bottom. You bring in these young kids, and you just say, gee, I just don't know if they can really do the job, even though they may be able to.
Plus, they haven't even been here for the entire training camp. They weren't Cardinals originally. They've been brought in, and so they're still learning the offense. And as you point out, they're youngsters. One of them a raw rookie out of Furman, Chaz Fox, and Troy Johnson coming over from the USFL has had a little bit of pro experience, but hasn't been with the Cardinals. So no, there's no question that's a problem. Now Green, they're expecting to get back in the next couple of weeks off his foot injury.
Tilley's
gone
for
for the
year.
season. Yeah.
So you got to feel as a quarterback, I guess, Neil, hey, I understand. Now, a lot of fans don't understand, but I understand. I know what that means when you don't have guys that you have confidence in. But, hey, Fox had a fine game last week. J.T. Smith, fine game last week, as well as Johnson. Big catch for him last week. So, that's the problems they're going through.
More football ahead this afternoon on CBS. You'll see our doubleheader game. The Giants at Seattle, two of the best teams in the league. The Giants currently tied with the Redskins atop the NFC East. That game will not be seen here in the Washington, D.C. area. The rest of you will be watching the Giants at Seattle and the Seahawks, one of the serious contenders in the AFC. Currently 4-2 in the AFC West. All right, third down and 15. Lomax. Gets time. Up the middle. Complete.
Fine grab.
Caught by Troy Johnson. One of those two young wide receivers we were just talking about from Southern University. 16-yard gain. Had a cup of coffee with the Cowboys coming over from the USFL.
Good job. Outstanding job that time by Clark and both their guards, Kennard and Bostic. Now, here's what Neil's smart about. Steps up in the pocket. Good job by Johnson. And then Neil Lomax with that strong arm gets it to Johnson. And then he spins around and does a good job of getting the first down.
Troy Johnson, number 87. Southern, 6'1", 175-pounder. First down, Cardinals at their own 29-yard line, close to the 30. Long count by Lomax, and he brings some Redskins over. Let's see if they were pulled.
Oh, you bet. Lomax, outstanding job of changing his cadence, well, let's see.
False start, number 61, offense.
Oh, no.
First down.
It backfired. That's one of the things I always hated about long cadence in Pittsburgh, Tim, was every time I went on 3, it backfired. That time, what the Lomax is trying to do is let the cadence be an asset for your offense, and it backfired, and they get 5-yard penalty out of it.
Boy, they yanked Lance Smith out of there. I mean to tell you, he was off the field before they got into the huddle. It'll be first down and 15. Dropped again, and it's Dexter Manley with his second consecutive sack. He came into the game with 4.5. That's the third of the day for the Redskins. Manley passed Dyron Talbert in the sack department here in Redskin lore.
At the bottom of your screen, you can see Manley 72 and Lewis Clark. Now, Clark does a good job of a takedown, I guess, or Manley slipped and fell on top of him, and unfortunately for Lomax, he ran over Manley, who reached up and said, oh, a gift, grabbed him and jerked him down.
Second and 17 for Lomax and the Cardinals. Tootie Robbins came in to replace Lance Smith after that penalty against Smith. Short drop from Lomax. Some time, hits his man Greg Marsh. And Marsh trying to get to the first down marker, and it looks like he has it. Middle linebacker Neil Olkowitz, number 52, had the coverage on Marsh. He made the stop.
Simple little zone. All Neil's trying to do is just get the ball out of his hands for 5 or 6 yards and let his receiver do the way. Look at Marsh, wide open in the middle. Smart route by Marsh. Got in there. All right, now look at Dexter Manley. You think he doesn't have some respect on the outside now? Manley's coming inside. Double team, you bet. Kennard 70, Sharp 67. Manley going nowhere. He has to sit there and watch.
First down, St. Louis at the 40-yard line. Cardinals need to get on the board before the half.
Oh, good catch.
Low pass and a good catch by Johnson. Are they going to give it to him? Yes, they are. And some of the crowd thinking it maybe it hit the turf here in RFK, but the officials say otherwise.
Back when you played Pop Warner ball, Tim, you probably had the same feeling right now that Lomax is going through. You notice how he's gaining confidence. Notice he's throwing the football now on first down, mixing it up. And as the confidence builds, you'll see him throw more and more, then boom, he'll go real deep with it. You can just sense it. You can just smell it.
Terry, a long pass for me was about 9 yards, so that was right on my limit, that one there. It's 2nd and 1 for Lomax and the Cardinals. But yes, he's starting to get some rhythm in it. And these young receivers, of course, building some confidence each time they make a catch. Some discussion underway here between Lomax and Mark Bright. Now, this may be another look at that catch on the replay. Paul Trapinski.
Well, let me jump out of
the replay official.
After further review, the play stands, completed pass.
Gosh, I wish I could have
Second down.
Thank you, Jerry. I wish I could have got in because I was going to say from my vantage point, his hands were on that football.
and underneath the ball.
There, you bet. All right. Johnson's got his man beat. Just a simple out. There it is. Picked it up, grabbed it, had possession, touched it again, teased everyone with it.
I'm not so sure on that
Sure.
one, but you see, it's all part of the reason why I hate this instant replay. We won't get too far into that again, but I am not an advocate. I don't think it works, folks. 2nd and 1. Straight ahead. Mitchell for a first down. St. Louis a flag on the play. He gets to the 45. Ken Coffey makes the tackle, number 48 of the Redskins. And the flag apparently against the Cardinals because there are some applauding Redskins out there.
Well, Boatwright threw it right at Kennard, number 70, the left guard. Matter of fact, he hit him with it.
Holding number 70, offense, 2nd down.
You know, I wouldn't appreciate that if I were Derek, because I'd say, look, if you call it on me, fine, but don't hit me with a flag. There's 70 right in the middle of your screen. Now, let's see if he holds. He comes off, left arm around the right arm of Butt. Interlock. Hey, you know, like they say, you know, you talk to these guys, holding is legal. That wasn't a hold, but evidently they thought it was. Threw a flag on it.
Gilman says holding is legal unless you catch it.
Well, that quiet man, be sure not mention the holding on it.
2nd and 10. Cardinals back at the 40-yard line. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver, Johnson, but Lomax looking as though he just threw it out of bounds there with that pressure coming. Derek Kennard gets up slowly back near the line of scrimmage. Kennard, number 70. He won the starting job with the loss of Doug Dawson to an Achilles injury, another of the starters of the injury-stricken Cardinals. Green, Tilley, Dawson, all starters from the offense.
Mack is out. Junior's out. Now, so 2 more you can add to the list.
Cedric Mack, where the word on him is a dislocated shoulder, won't be back. And E.J. Junior has sore ribs. We're not sure that he'll return. 3rd and 10 from the shotgun now. J.T. Smith lines up on the wing left, number 84. With protection, and Smith trying to get the first down. He's very close at the 50. Right at the midfield stripe. They're going to put it on the paint, and he will be short by about the length of a football. Now, do they go here? We have 2 minutes exactly to play in the first half. That'll give Coach Gene Stallings, Lomax, and Schaffner all a chance to decide. Down 21-0 at midfield. I expect they're going to try and get this one. We'll be back and find out in a moment here at RFK. Stallings has made his decision. He's got Robert Stallings, no relation, a rookie from Southern Mississippi, a tight end in there to block. They're going to go from the 50-yard line. 4th and a football. Ron Wolfley, second-year fullback, number 24, out of West Virginia, is also in the lineup for the first time today for St. Louis. They trail 21-0. 2 minutes to play first half. Mitchell, Farrell, the running back. Wolfley in there as well for blocking, we assume.
You're going to like Stallings. He said, this is my offense, this is my defense. I'm going to take responsibility. So this is his call. You got to admire that.
The Redskins will try to stack it up here and take the heart out of the Cardinals, leading them 21-0. If they stop them here, that could be crucial. Stump Mitchell is the man. He has the first down and then some. Inside the 45-yard line of the Redskins, led by the young Ron Wolfley, the blocker number 24, giving him a good block on the corner.
One of the problems you have having to make a first down with 143 and counting, you can't get into a 2-minute offense because you have to get your short yardage people, Tim, off the football field to bring in your wide receivers. So now you go into your 2-minute offense and it costs you 18, 19 seconds already.
Yep, they're down to 128 and counting. And the shotgun. First down, St. Louis. Good protection. Up the middle, he's got his man Smith. J.T. Smith, first down to the 28-yard line.
All right, got a second play. Get up there, line it up. Don't worry about Washington. Let them mess around. But set your line and snap the ball.
16-yard gain. Daniels and Curtis Jordan on the stop. Cardinals quickly up to the line, ready to go. 1 minute left. Good protection again. Finds an open man.
Now timeout.
Earl Farrell, and Farrell gets about 7. They're at the 23-yard line. Timeout St. Louis. Bradshaw's conducting this 2-minute offense here. He's got his wire right into the head of Neil Lomax.
Well, I forget, Tim, I'm not playing, and I really am playing. I really, this is the fun part about football, and it's the fun part about, for me, to be doing these games, is that this 2-minute stuff is where all the action is. and you get to call 2 plays, guess here, guess there. Now they're going to blitz a little bit. You got to expect blitz because they played zone and they've hit 2 big plays on them. So Neil's got to be thinking, hey, coach, they're going to blitz. So how can we handle it best? And what can we do to beat it? That's what we're going to see now. I look for a blitz. And then it's hard to play. So you see these things and you call them out.
I was intimating that maybe you had a wire in there to Neil to call these plays, but I know you didn't talk to him last night because we tried to do that. Neil came down with, what'd you call it?
Well, he had that World Series flu last night, and I wanted to talk to him, but they told me he had World Series flu. And so I don't know what he's going to do today, folks. I normally talk to these quarterbacks to get a feel for what they're thinking, but Neil had the World Series flu last night, and so it looks like he's over with it.
Yeah, he's really got him moving here on this last stretch. As you pointed out earlier, got the rhythm going, and he's got the Cardinals down at the 23-yard line of Washington now. 53 seconds remaining, and his team down 21-0. So Gene Stallings would get that ball in the end zone, young man. And we've still got lots of time left to get back into this football game. We need some points here. Gets the blitz on. He gets it off to Farrell. Farrell has a first down to the 12-yard line. 45 seconds left. Malott made the tackle. They're not going to call timeout here.
The thing nice about this is they're on the 12-yard line. They can get another first down, get it out of bounds, and stop the clock.
33 seconds left.
No blitz.
The shotgun, a little roll, good coverage. Lomax, he'll take off. Inside the 5 to the 2-yard line.
Timeout.
And they get the clock stopped with 22 seconds left.
Excellent job, Tim, by Lomax getting out wide. As we look at Lee, who has not had a spectacular rookie season so far kicking the football, but Lomax getting out wide that time, needing some help from his receivers to move, get around, do something, get open, forcing Lomax to run.
They had the play ready. They're going here. They didn't waste any time in that huddle. Sailing it to the corner, and it's incomplete.
Well, heck, you could have called that. Anybody can call that. That's no secret right there. If you're going to get up there and just kill the clock with that, you might as well take a timeout and call something that works.
Intended for Chaz Fox, the rookie from Furman, and the pass overthrown to the corner. I'm a little bit surprised that they threw on that down there, Terry.
It's an opportunity now to get a back out on an option on a linebacker. You don't need a lot, and this is an area where a quarterback doesn't have a lot of room to lay the ball up. You got to zing it in there because there's not much room. You only have 14 yards to play with to the back of the end zone.
Well, they may have to go to John Lee, but they need a touchdown here. Oh, some early movement by the Cardinals. And it was Louis Sharp.
See what happened by Sharp jumping off sides. You lost 4 seconds.
Procedure, I think it was. He lifted up.
Number 67, offense.
Yeah, he's got that Dexter Manley over there, and he wants to make sure Manley isn't going to get the sack. He's got 2. Just a little eager to get set up, I guess, Terry.
Well, we had Smith on the right side do it once, and now Louis do it on the left side. But in Sharp's defense, he's done an outstanding job so far on Manley. He's stuffed him pretty well, I think. Yeah, he had that 1 sack, but actually Lomax ran into him.
Third down. They need 5 yards to get a first down. They've only got 7 seconds to go, so they'll get one more play in and then field goal time. They swing it out for Farrell, touchdown. Earl Farrell on Rich Malott, and the Cardinals are on the board with an 8-yard touchdown. Perfect strike, keeping Farrell in full motion as he caught the ball, Terry.
That's what I said. Come out and run an option route with your back. He's isolated on your linebacker. He shouldn't be able to cover him. That time Malott was forced to pick up Farrell, and they only had 7 seconds. Had he not completed this, this game's over. This halftime's over. Boy, look at it. He beats him. Good throw by Lomax. Farrell, good job of scoring.
Well, they had to have the touchdown. John Lee comes in for the point after, and all of a sudden we've got ourselves a football game. What looked like it might turn into a rout is now reduced to a 14-point margin for the Washington Redskins. 2 seconds remain on the clock. There is Earl Farrell, the 6-foot, 220-pound fullback from East Tennessee State. 80 yards in 15 plays for the Cardinals. A good-looking drive that has to be a confidence booster for the second half. The Redskins have dominated play here on both sides of the football through the first 30 minutes.
You can see the blitz.
And some discussion down below by the zebras. That looks like a convention of zebras down there.
I ran in and said hello to all these guys before the game, Tim.
Did they say hello back?
They just told me to keep the camera
There's no
up high.
foul on the play. There were 7 men on the line of scrimmage. There were a total of 10 men altogether. Perfectly legal. The point counts.
Well, we weren't doing the count down there, but somebody else was. However, no penalty on the play, so the point stands. At halftime, Brent Musburger, Will, and Joe Theismann with scores and highlights today. Joe's sitting in the NFL studio this afternoon. And a special feature entitled Spying on the West. What does that mean? Well, Coach Bill Parcells of the Giants traded his secrets on NFC East opponents to get the lowdown on the Seahawks. Will McDonough has that story. And don't forget that game coming up later today. The Giants and the Seahawks. That should be some battle out there in the state of Washington. We're in the nation's capital, the city of Washington, this afternoon, and Gene Stallings still discussing that last play with one of the officials.
He is persistent with this official over this call as he was with me, Tim, when he recruited me when he was head coach at Texas A&M. I mean, he was persistent. My mother would cook fried chicken and potatoes and all those southern dishes, and old Gene would come in there and lay that talk on. And if I had been a mature young individual, I fell in love with this guy. I just felt like that no matter where he goes, he's going to be a winner. And I wanted to be a part of it, but I didn't have the guts to sign with him. But gosh, what a stellar job he can do.
John Lee's ground ball kickoff taken by Krakowski, and that prevents any kind of a run back by a so-called skill player. And so the half comes to an end. And a solid half of football by the Washington Redskins, but they did give up that touchdown on the final drive of the Cardinals. Washington, the Redskins lead the St. Louis Cardinals 21-7. CBS Sports coverage of NFL football will continue after this message and a word from your local station. And, well, they thought they were going to be starting St. Louis deep. Instead, they wound up first and goal from the 2. John Lee will kick it off for the Cardinals. And it's taken by Keith Griffin. Griffin will bring it up, and he's had some daylight down the left side all the way to the 43-yard line. Keith Griffin finally stopped by Joe Novacek, activated this week, number 85.
Kickoff returns, they're a lot of fun. They're not a lot of fun if you're not doing a good job. But you see, he sets them up. He goes up inside there, Tim, and then dips to the outside, sets the tacklers up inside, dips to the outside. Picks up about, what, 40 yards?
35-yard return, and John Lee, the kicker, had to slow him up for the trailing tackler. They might have gone all the way. First down, good field position, Redskins, 41-yard line. Rogers hit at the line of scrimmage and stopped there as Nico Noga charging in with Bob Clasby, the rookie defensive end from Notre Dame, a free agent out of the USFL, getting the start today ahead of Stafford Mays on the front three of the Cardinals. Clasby and Noga on the tackle.
Clasby, 79. They call him the House. Stand up alongside these guys, and you can call them all the house, the hotel, and the whole apartment complex. They're all big.
He's 6'5", 265. Looks bigger than that. Second down. About 10 and a half. Lots of protection for Schrader. He's got a wide open man. It's Didier, and he falls and drops there, but he has a first down at the 22-yard line. Victimized was Leonard Smith, the strong safety, number 45.
They had a delayed safety blitz. That time, Lonnie Young, 43, came up late. Gave Didier all kinds of time. Notice E.J. Jr., 54. He's coming up in there blitzing outside. Now you see 43, Young, as he blitzes and isolating the tight end outside Didier. Man-for-man coverage by Leonard Smith, 45. Unusual that a defensive back can get beat so bad. Now look at Schrader. First really deep pass in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Love to throw him down there. 37-yard gain and another fine grab by Didier. Made a couple like that today. So the Redskins threaten quickly from the 22, and Rogers into traffic, plows for a couple. Gets over the 20-yard line, and they'll spot it at about the 19 for a 3-yard gain.
At the top of the show, we said the thing today to look for the Cardinals to do, Tim, was blitz. We said it would be interesting to see how Jay Schrader reacted to the blitz. Now they blitzed early and had some success, but now here lately they're blitzing Schrader and they're getting burned. And I would look now for the Cardinals to stop the blitzing and get out.
E.J. Jr., you mentioned back in the game, he is playing with sore ribs suffered in the first half. The first half stats Rogers, again with a wall of red shirts awaiting him, picked up about 2, maybe 3 more. In that first half, the Redskins had 13 first downs to 9 by the Cardinals, 182 total yards to 130. And the Redskins are awesome when they have a lead at halftime. How's that for a record? 44-2 since Joe Gibbs came in. We talked in other telecasts involving the Redskins, Terry, about how well they adjust defensively at halftime. They have the ability to make those adjustments and shut teams down in the second half, but to have a lead, well, they're murdered. See what they do offensively now. Threatening again. 3rd down and 4. Right up the middle. Terry Clark, touchdown. Yards for the score, and the Redskins widen the lead at 20-1 again. 20 at the moment.
Clark on Lionel Washington, a corner. They have Clark in the slot. Clark comes down, puts an outside move on Washington. Washington bites, then Clark goes back inside, gets the ball, and gets into the end zone. Well, they seem to just be going to the right guy. You know, it's not that Schrader's doing anything. Everybody he's gone to today has either been wide open or, you know, it's been knocked down, but he's gone to the right guy.
Schrader was 9 of 14 in the first half and off to a great start here in the second. Max Zendejas, the new placement kicker of the short variety at least, as the point after, and that is the first 3-touchdown pass game for Jay Schrader, and that's the man who got number 3. We'll be back. Has a right to look unhappy. Lionel Washington, the 4-year man from Tulane, the number 5 pick in '83, has had a long afternoon, and it's only half over. We're just underway in the 3rd period. Washington has been burned by Monk, and on the last touchdown by Clark, he's had to chase Didier once or twice. And the Redskins have opened a 28-7 lead, a 3-touchdown afternoon thus far for Jay Schrader. Val Sikahema, again the kickoff deep from Cox. He will not bring it out. So Cox has spoiled the outstanding return man. The youngster from BYU has not had a chance to run a kick back as Cox has kept it deep. Later today on CBS, our doubleheader action, the New York Giants tied with the Redskins atop the NFC East will take on the Seattle Seahawks, who are second in the AFC West behind unbeaten Denver. And I think Seattle and Denver in that division showing that they are the class of the American Conference. The Jets in New England might argue that before the season is over, but right now the Seahawks are looking like an outstanding playoff contending team. That's next, the Giants and Seattle. First down from the 20, and a loose ball on the exchange from center. Jeff Bostic and, pardon me, not Jeff Bostic, Randy Clark, the Cardinals center, and the quarterback Neil Lomax having a problem, but Clark has recovered the ball.
We have a false snap on number 64, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, I guess the ball didn't come up at all.
Well, the only thing that Clark could have done was, you know, move the ball a little bit before the, moved it, then put it back down, tilted a little bit. Let's see. Gee whiz, didn't snap it at all. You can't call that a false snap. That's just a miscue. Maybe it's going to hit the quarterback's hands to be a legal play, but it looks like he messed it up.
Yeah, and you saw Lomax there talking to Stump Mitchell, so maybe they weren't all together on the play called. First and 15. Mitchell in motion. Intended for J.T. Smith, incomplete, too high. Dennis Thurman had the coverage. Not Dennis Thurman, pardon me, Vernon Dean, number 32. And Coffey, and a little extra pushing and shoving between J.T. Smith and the Redskin defenders.
What happened that time is you saw Dean go over him. Looked like he got his hand caught down over the top of Smith. Now there's the play. It's a poor selection by Neal. Now it looks like his left hand is caught. Now I'm trying to see this. Get his hand down in there.
That looks like a little Greco-Roman wrestling match going on there between.
Looks like he's got his hand all over his face mask and jerking Smith's head around. I don't blame Smith. I'd be upset too. Best way to handle that is just run right by him and catch a touchdown.
Well, Well, it remains 2nd and 15. That's an incomplete pass. Numbers all settled. Smith comes out to the left side and motions Farrell to give it to Mitchell up the middle, and he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Neil Olkowitz with the tackle, number 52. Now let's go to Brent Musburger in New York for an update on the Dallas-Philadelphia game. Redskins last week facing that tough Buddy Ryan defense. That looks like it'll be interesting to follow, and of great interest to the Redskins Cardinal fans. 2 more teams in the NFC East.
Those Cardinals up 1 week, down the next week. Looks like they're playing the Cowboys.
Eagles.
I mean,
yeah.
What'd I say?
They said the Cardinals, but they've been up only 1 week. That was last week.
They'll play them later.
We got a timeout on the field. Timeout on the field, and Dexter Manley, who was injured on the last play, went back out for this play, and still limping around a little for the Washington Redskins. So Dexter's got 2 sacks in his pocket this afternoon, and not exactly in the most fit condition at the moment because he's hurt. A little bit of a limp. Well, during this timeout, our opportunity to give you an idea of our NFL action next week on CBS Sports. Many of you will see the Cardinals take on the Dallas Cowboys. Herschel Walker had such a big week against Washington last week. We'll be trying to do the same against St. Louis. Some of you will see the Atlanta Falcons, the surprising Falcons, against Eric Dickerson and the Los Angeles Rams. Check the local listings for the game in your area. It all starts with the NFL Today next Sunday on CBS Sports. Atlanta atop the Western Division, and the Rams tied with the 49ers right behind them at 4-2. Neil Lomax coming back out ready to go, and he finished the first half in fine style, driving the Cardinals down the field for their first touchdown. But facing now a 3rd and 14 from the 16-yard line of St. Louis. First offensive series of the second half for the Cardinals. 10:53 to play in the 3rd quarter. From the shotgun, 2 wide receivers. Spread out for the Cardinals. He's going down the sideline for Johnson, and it's incomplete. On the coverage was number 32, Vernon Dean, and I know Terry Bradshaw, you thought he might have pushed Johnson.
Vernon Dean had his arms all over Johnson that time. He could have very easily, and I can't believe they didn't throw a defensive holding penalty on Vernon Dean.
Except that they may have said the pass was uncatchable.
You're wrong. That ball was catchable.
Well, let's look and see. I think it might have been too far over.
There's the pass. Now let's see. Now you can see as Johnson's working back inside, Dean's got his arm all over his left shoulder and pulls him down. Now, Tim, you know as well as I do that's defensive holding.
Roy Johnson's got the speed. Maybe he would have caught that one. But it's punt time, and it's going to roll down inside the 40 to the 35-yard line of the Redskins. Ken Jenkins just downs it there. A 48-yard punt for Greg Cater. So the Redskins will start from their 35 when we return, and they hold a 28-7 lead. Stallings has turned this game into a coffee clutch with the Zebras today. Tom Kelleher is his current target here, and Gene's done more talking to the officials than he has the team today.
This is what Gene's talking about. Now, the ball's thrown deep. Now, Neil leads him inside, but look at this. Tell me that's not a takedown.
That's a takedown.
Okay, thank you.
Could he have caught the ball without a takedown? It's only my own question. Nonetheless, here we go. Here's Rodgers. First down at Bighorn. Inside the midfield stripe. 16-yard carry for George Rodgers.
Well, if you're George Rodgers, you got to love to play behind the Hogs. And you're going to see left guard Russ Grimm, 68, leading the way. Grimm outside. He kicks out Freddie Joe Nunn. And, boy, that back inside Rodgers cuts for a huge gainer.
Rodgers had 40 yards in the first half. He's up to 61 on 16 carries. And we have 10:05 to play here in the 3rd quarter. First down, Washington, moving again. Just inside St. Louis territory. Rodgers once more. Ripping through tacklers. Got away from Nico Noga on that one. And takes it to the 40-yard line, just short of a first down. Ron Monaco in for E.J. Jr. at linebacker, made the stop. Monaco, number 59. Jr. apparently bothered with his sore ribs, has left the defense again. Lonnie Young is also out of the Cardinals defense, replaced by Dennis Thurman. Young went limping off a few plays back. Injuries continue to plague the Cardinals. First down, Redskins. I'm sorry, second down and 2. Second and 2 at the 32-yard line. Rodgers will call. That's the yardage. First down to the Cardinal 38.
And it's hard to believe that George Rogers is playing for the Washington Redskins. Here's a guy that set an NFL record as a rookie for rushing with over 1,600 yards in New Orleans Saints uniform. And then when Bum Phillips brings in Earl Campbell, they turn loose Rogers, and Beathard here brings him into the Washington area, and John Riggins retires, and Rogers steps right in. Same kind of back, same kind of power and speed.
It's been devastating this season. Motion goes Monk. Fake, out to Monk, and he can't hold on. Schrader getting the signal for the next play from the Washington sideline. They'll have second and 10. Ball at the 37-yard line.
The last couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of quarterbacks, Tim, do a lot of play action. We're seeing it on Lomax is doing it, Schrader's doing a lot of play action, but the thing we've seen off play action is players going deep, quarterbacks going deep. Today, what we're seeing is a nice play in Schrader, a little play action, little 5-yard shot out there. Too high that time, but the idea is nice and short.
Just had the 2 long gainers, 33 and 37. On it. Very effective offense by the Redskins. Using the clock, and it's almost picked up. It is picked up. On the deflection, Wayne Smith. And Smith running hard. Still going, trying to keep his balance. Wayne Smith all the way to the 36-yard line. And it looked like it went off the hands of Nico Noga, who had the first chance to intercept. Monk, the intended receiver. Wayne Smith gets the ball.
This ball is delivered too late. Schrader comes outside right in the center of your pitcher. Now, right now, Monk is wide open, but he waits too long. Noga gets a break on the football. Now, he misses the interception, tips it up. Wayne Smith, who is benched for this game, he comes in, ball reacts, gets the interception, and away we go.
Just the 3rd interception of the season for the St. Louis Cardinals. Lionel Washington had the other 2 both in the same game. But now, break for the Cardinals in good field position at the 37-yard line. Play action fake, Lomax. Wide open, Mitchell dropped the ball. Stump Mitchell wide open in the flat. Dropped the football a little too eager to head forward with it.
Talking to Gene Stalling yesterday, he told us one of the things we want to do is naturally run Stump Mitchell and Farrell. We want to get them the football, but we also want to get Mitchell out in the flats, and if these linebackers lay off of him, we want to get the football to him because he's a great open field runner. That time they got what they wanted. Lomax found his man, got it in there to Mitchell, and he dropped the football.
So it is second and 10 at the Washington 37-yard line. Cardinals getting the turnover they desperately needed. In motion goes Jazz Fox. Give it to Mitchell, and Mitchell gets only a couple before he's met by Neil Olkowitz, the linebacker number 52.
I talked to Neil Olkowitz and Rich Malott, 57, their fine outside linebacker, the other day at practice. Had them both sitting there, and I put a question to him, Tim, and I wanted to see who would answer. I said, of the 2 positions, which of you would be considered the better athlete, the outside or the inside? Well, Olkowitz is laughing, and Malott's kind of serious. He doesn't know if take me serious or not. And finally, he said, well, I guess we are. The outside guy got trouble with and whatnot.
Did Olkowitz agree?
He was still laughing.
3rd down and 7. Cardinals, big play for them, and there's the blitz. And they got him. Snipes. Angelo Snipes, 4th sack of the afternoon. Well, a big defensive play by the Redskins when the Cardinals really needed the first down to take advantage of their interception and keep the drive going.
All it was an all-out linebacker blitz. It wasn't a safety blitz. As you can see, Lomax and Snipes at the top of your screen. He's free on the inside. Also, as you can see, Calvin Daniels, the linebacker. The other linebacker was free. No one picked him up. Nowhere for Lomax to go but down.
Well, these Washington linebackers have been hurt. Olkowitz playing with a sore knee. Kaufman gone for the season. Monty Coleman on injured reserve. And yet Snipes and Daniels, 2 newcomers, been doing a good job. Cater's punt. Great fair caught by Jenkins at the 15-yard line. So the Redskins have avoided the bullet, survived the interception by the Cardinals, and have the ball back. And they have the lead, 28-7 in the 3rd period. RFK Stadium in Washington. Tim Ryan and Terry Bradshaw watching the Cardinals and the Redskins. The Redskins at 5-1 tied with the Giants have a 28-7 lead in this game here on the third period. We have 7 minutes to play third quarter. They had a 21-0 lead. The Cardinals scored in the final seconds of the first half, but Jay Schrader struck quickly early in the third to open a 28-7 lead. Rogers, loose ball picked up by the Cardinals and then lost again. Let's see who's got it. Cardinals say they have. And we'll wait for the official mark, but Rogers coughing up the ball at the 20-yard line of the Redskins. It is St. Louis ball. The Cardinals get it right back. Well, they didn't come up with anything following their interception. Let's see what they do here from the 20.
You're going to see no blitz from the outside. Linebackers are coming up to support. Rogers cutting back inside. Hey, he just dropped the football. Nobody hit him. He just simply dropped the football.
There's one guy who misses it.
Wayne Smith misses it. He drops it, and I can't see in all that mess down there who recovered the fumble. But I see 45. Leonard's down there, so maybe he got it.
Yeah, it might have been Leonard Smith or Charlie Baker. They were both diving on it. Main thing is it's St. Louis ball. From the Cardinal point of view, they have a first down at the 20-yard line and a desperate need to score. This is Earl Farrell. Farrell almost broke loose and is stopped by Ken Coffey, number 48, or he would have been in the end zone, but it's about an 8-yard gain.
Excellent offensive scheme. Send your leading rusher, Mitchell, in motion. Malott runs outside, which means there's no linebacker to close down that hole, and then you give it to Farrell up the middle. Boy, he breaks that line, and then he's in the secondary.
Second turnover in the last few minutes by the Redskins after they opened their 28-7 lead with the touchdown pass. Clark. Farrell, hard running by Farrell, is having a good day, and he has a first down. Washington at the 7-yard line.
Richie Pettibone.
St. Louis, pardon me.
Pettibone said we're going to stop Mitchell. We're going to go after the guy that carries the load. So they've done that. So they've done a good job. So what is Gene Stallings doing now? Hey, he's giving the ball to Farrell, and he's responding. Boy, he's getting those first downs.
And the fumble recovery has been awarded to Charlie Baker of the Cardinals. So he has helped to give them this opportunity. First and goal.
Safeties are up tight, so you got to look for blitz.
7-yard line of Washington. Play action fake and intended for Smith. Touchdown. J.T. Smith, number 84, greeted by some Redskin fans there. A 7-yard touchdown strike, and the Cardinals back in it again.
Safety's coming up. Good job by Lomax. A lot of poise, a lot of presence. Takes the snap, little play action to hold what little bit of linebackers are coming. Smith isolated one-on-one out on the right. Easy catch. There you have it, 45 trailing. That was old Barry Wilburn, nailed him.
J.T. Smith came over from Kansas City as a free agent in 1985. He's a 9-year veteran. Back up to Green and Philly, but a starter with those injuries, and John Lee delivers the goods on the point after. And the Cardinals take advantage of the second turnover by the Redskins, and evidently a flag down on the play. Flag on the play. We've had 2 of these on conversion attempts. Let's see what happens on this one from Jerry Markwright.
The try is good. We have a hold on number 57 on the defense. 5-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Timeout.
So the penalty against Rich Malott, and 5 yards assessed on the kickoff, but it's 28-14. Redskins. Back at RFK Stadium, Tim Ryan and Terry Bradshaw. You're looking at John Lee, the UCLA All-American, a number 2 draft choice by the Cardinals, trying to improve their kicking game. And he is the NCAA record holder, number of field goals, career 79, and he had an 86%
Not bad.
field goals.
You know, Gene Stallings said he didn't have the strongest leg as he thought. So this 5-yard penalty, putting him on the 40, could be to the, this could benefit the Cardinals now because it should get that ball down on the goal line.
Min Jong Lee from Seoul, South Korea. Well known as John over here in the U.S. And it does come down short. Taken by Jenkins.
Oh.
And Jenkins, good coverage by the Cardinals, stopping him right at the 20-yard line. So good job by the Cardinals kickoff team. Let's go to Brent Musburger for an update.
Let's go back to 10.
Wow, how about that?
Hey, that's defending champions having a rough day.
It is first down for the Washington Redskins. Their own 20-yard line. Rogers met at the line of scrimmage, but that great strength and leg drive takes the tackler, Clasby, the big guy, upfield for a couple of yards.
There's Wayne Sevier. I talked to him the other day, and I wanted to break down on their special teams practice. I asked him to give it to me. They were spend 3 hours and 45 minutes a week, Tim, just in film work, classroom work on special teams, and a total of an hour and 50 minutes a week on the field practicing the special teams, and that shows out here. That's why they're so good.
2nd and 8, and it was Jenkins, one of the fine kickoff return men. Good job here. That long pass for Didier, complete. Inbounds and a first down out at the 47-yard line. Schrader really aired that one out. That was a long pass because it was mainly cross field.
Well, Didier got in between the corner and the safety, and actually this ball should have been intercepted. He waited a little too long to throw it, but with the strong arm he has and a lot of confidence, he zeroes it in there, puts a lot of pressure on Leonard Smith, who finally knocks him out of bounds.
26-yard gain for the first down to the 47-yard line of the Redskins. Bouncing back quickly following the Cardinals score. Later a deep drop. Has Gary Clark, and he holds on. Bobbled, but held on. As Washington had the hit on him, Clark refused to cough up the ball. Gary Clark. 15-yard gain.
One of those simple patterns, just down 15 yards, come inside, little play action. Held the linebackers just enough to allow that gap between Clark and Schrader to open up, and he, with a strong arm, the youngster from UCLA, zeroed it in there.
4 catches. He came in with 29. He and Monk running 2 and 3 in the NFC receiving category coming into the game. First down, Redskins. Rogers over the 35-yard line in Cardinal territory. Al Baker and Lionel Washington made the stop.
Big series of down through. You can't lose sight of the fact that the Cardinals, somewhere along here, Tim, need to make a stand. They need to force a drive here to stall and get a punt back and get the football back and drive down again. They don't need to allow the Redskins to drive down the field again and get another touchdown. It's 28-14. They're in this ball game.
They are indeed. They've had 2 turnovers. They capitalized on 1. They've got to stop the Redskins here. 2nd down and 7. Rogers plows to the 30-yard line. Rogers approaching the 100-yard mark again. He's got 87 to this point unofficially. You can see back in 1980, Rogers and his opponent today, Stump Mitchell, ran 1-2 in the NCAA rushing category. 1,700 yards to Rogers. He got the Heisman. Stump Mitchell got to go to St. Louis and play behind O.J. Anderson. Now he's the boss here. St. Louis Cardinal team. Short yardage offense in for the Redskins. That's the blockers. And Rogers would appear to have the first down. It will be close.
One of the things you forget, you showed that comparison there with Mitchell and Rogers, that Mitchell goes to the Citadel, which is not, it's not Notre Dame, but a doggone good football program there. And they don't have the PR. They don't have the first-class airline, travel around the country that these big schools have. But, hey, you match heart, desire, and athletic skills. That's the separation, but just a couple of inches and 20 pounds.
Well, that's well put, Terry. What a job this guy has done. He never complained about playing behind O.J. Anderson. It looks like they've got the first down.
How about when he walked up to us last night in the hotel with the glasses, and I said, looks like you need to be operating somewhere. This guy is classy, I'm telling you. Really sharp dressed. And I couldn't believe that he was that short. I don't want to say that because he's not going to appreciate it. But he's not, he's not 6'2", 6'3".
He's 5'9", is what he is.
That's exactly what he is. He plays like he's 5'9" with a 5'9" heart.
Redskins got the first down, as you saw on the measurement. And they're at the 29-yard line of the Cardinals in motion. Rogers, a nice bit of running by Rogers for 9, close to 10. Gets to the 20-yard line. Carrying tacklers with him, powerful George Rogers.
Getting in the help of R.C. Tillman, the right guard, 69, and the right tackle, Mark May, just cuts inside. Tillman seals outside. May cuts inside, and then he split those two blocks and got all the way down. Well, we got 2nd and 2 here.
Ball at the 20-yard line. Redskins driving again with time winding down in the 3rd quarter. There was a must-stop-'em time. It's right here for the St. Louis Cardinals. Loose ball. Rogers with his 2nd fumble, and who got it? St. Louis. Cardinal football. Recovered by Dennis Thurman. Thurman picked up on waivers from the Cowboys, comes up with a fumble, and they have stopped them, and they have the football at the 15-yard line.
Well, we said they needed to stop him. They've got 1 fumble and cashed in for a touchdown. Now they hand to Rogers another big hole. He cuts inside of Tillman's block. And there, hey, there's the hit, there's the fumble, and then there's Thurman to make the recovery.
So Rogers with his 2nd fumble in this quarter. Dennis Thurman, the guy who came up with a loose ball. Smith comes out to the left side. Jazz Fox out to the right side. Redskin crowd comes alive for their defense. Mitchell in motion. Farrell on the draw play. And he is stuffed. No room for Farrell out the left side, his right side, as Olkowitz came over to lead the Redskin charge with a lot of help.
Well, the reason that didn't work is Neil Olkowitz, the middle linebacker's responsibility on an outside, when they send both their outside linebackers, is the running back remaining. And that time it was a draw to Farrell, and that was Olkowitz's man, and no one's responsible for Olkowitz but the fullback. Therefore, Olkowitz had an easy stop.
Final minute of the 3rd period. Mitchell. All the way to the 25-yard line. Malott nearly had him for a loss. He made a diving try, but Mitchell put the afterburner on.
Good job outside that time. Boy, you could just see it in his eyes. When he knew that, when he saw that out, when that 1st down marker, Mitchell lowered his head and boom, right up inside. You know, because of his injury, he started running lower. He said, you know, last week he had 126 yards rushing, Tim, and he said, I ran lower to protect my leg. So maybe he learned something about running the football by staying low. That time he certainly did.
5'9", he can't get much lower on it.
Well,
it's going to be 3rd and just short. Time winds down here in the 3rd quarter. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Washington Redskins 28, St. Louis Cardinals 14. We now pause for a word from your local station. Tim Ryan and Terry Bradshaw. We are at the RFK Stadium. It is 3rd down and about a half yard at the 25-yard line. Cardinals. Womack wants to throw the ball, and it is incomplete. Ken Coffey had the rush from the safety position on the quarterback. Well, Terry, what's your reaction to that one?
Well, I think it's an excellent call. I know that the Cardinal fans don't like the results, but I think the idea was excellent. Play action pass, it catches everyone off guard, but unfortunate for the Cardinals with the fact that the Washington Redskins, Tim, had a blitz on. They sent Coffey up in there, and he went right at Lomax and knocked the ball down. And look at this, 4th down, they're going for it.
Got to go, and they're at their own 24-yard line. Farrell and Mitchell have been running well inside, and it's going to be Farrell. He's hit but keeps going. What a second effort. I think he got there. The Redskin fans think otherwise.
I think you're right. I think they're going to mark him for a 1st down.
Forward progress from our vantage point would indicate he was there. Good defensive work by the Redskins right side, but what an effort by Earl Farrell.
Hey, you've got to give him a 1st down just on effort. That was unbelievable. Stop, knock back, forward again, knock back, forward again, knock back, and then finally made that last surge to get the 1st down.
Darrell Grant and Curtis Jordan were the 2 guys that finally got him, and of course they think they stopped him short. But here's the measurement now. A 4th and about a half yard at your own 25.
There it is.
They got it.
Oh, gutsy call. Gutsy call.
There's the man who made the call. Makes them all, defense and offense.
Let's look at it. It's a lead block outside. Now, look, it's just all effort. Look at this. 1, 2, high step. Another hit. There's Curtis Jordan, 22. Now, he's hanging on. Look at this. 48. Coffey's in there. 77. Grant. Everyone's on him. Still gets the first down.
Great job by Earl Farrell, and can the Cardinals move it downfield? The Redskins, a good second-half team defensively. They had 3 miscues offensively in the third quarter. Awesome 1 touchdown. What a catch by J.T. Smith, one-handing, and a flag is down on the play back at the line of scrimmage. J.T. Smith hauling in Lomax's pass. An 8-yard pickup that may be wiped out. Let's see what the call is. No, the Redskins appear to be upset. We'll see what Jerry Markbright and his
It's going to be holding on the Cardinals.
Holding number 70, offense.
Derek Kennard is signaled for holding, and I guess whoever he was holding was upset.
That's right. That's what I was going to say. The reason the Redskins are upset is because Derek Kennard, number 70, was caught for holding. He'll appreciate that.
Dean Hamill, second-year man from Tulsa, was the guy a little angry, but his teammates kept him out of the fray because they knew the penalty was coming against St. Louis. So it is 1st and 20, backed up to the 15-yard line. Lomax gets it off, a catch by Farrell, incomplete. Farrell had the ball, a wobbly one, because Lomax was hit just as he released it, and it was Hamill charging in on him.
Well, that's what happens when you hold a defensive lineman and you make him mad, and then you come right back. Now, look, Hamill is still steaming, and you come right back with a pass, and all you're doing, really, you play right into Hamill's attitude, because his attitude is, I'm going to get the quarterback, and I'm going through you. That time, he pressured Lomax and forced a bad throw.
2nd and 10. Lomax is 10 of 21 for 99 yards. He has 2 touchdowns, however. And he's got his man. That's J.T. Smith again out that sideline. Short of the first down by about 4 yards. It'll leave 3rd and 4 at the 31. Vernon Dean on the coverage made the tackle.
One of the problems you have as a quarterback when you get an all-out blitz is you got to show a lot of courage. And I tell you, Lomax is showing a lot of courage. As you can see, the blitz is coming. He knows he's going to get hit, and there's the shot that knocked him down. He has no idea this ball has been completed. Hey, makes life up here a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, I noticed. I read in the paper you're not planning on going back. 3rd down and 5. Big play for St. Louis, obviously. Out of the shotgun. Running out of time and drops the ball, but it is whistled dead. Whistled dead before the ball came loose, but a sack by Manley. That is his 4th sack of the afternoon. Third sack for Manley. 5th sack by the Washington Redskins.
If there's a problem in the Cardinal attack, is that Neil Lomax has confidence in 84 J.T. Smith, because that's the guy he's going to. That time they doubled Smith. Instead of single covering him, they double covered him. As you can see, Hamilton 64 dragging Lomax down.
Manley now has 7.5 sacks on the season with 3 of them here today. And the Cardinals have to punt. Ray Cater off the side of his foot. Jenkins comes up, fields it at the 44. Gets over the midfield stripe, and the Redskins will have good field position again. Carl Carter made the tackle. A 34-yard punt. A hurting punt for the Cardinals. There's Dexter Manley. What a day. Dexter Manley, 3 sacks on the afternoon, having a good day against Lewis Sharp. And talking with Sharp last night, he had some interesting comments to say about Dexter. He said Dexter's well known around the league as a talker. He yaps at you out there the whole day, gets you aggravated. But that has cost Manley a little bit, hasn't it, Terry?
Well, he said when it comes to voting for the Pro Bowl, he's a guy you naturally overlook because you don't like him. So actually, as good as he is, he should be in there because he talks so much. Players, these tackles say, forget it, I'm not going to vote for you.
Well, old Dexter is doing his job today against Louis Sharp. Meanwhile, the Redskins have picked up 3 yards on first down.
I would want Manley on my team in the Pro Bowl because there you're not enemies, there you're friends. And I would like to have him. This guy's quite a defensive end, even though he does like to talk.
That 3-yard gain by Rogers, 103 yards on the day. He has fumbled twice this afternoon, but hasn't damaged the Redskins' cause greatly. 12:13 to go here in the 4th period. They have the football in Cardinal territory. First down, Rogers. 7 yards to the 38-yard line of the Cardinals. Dennis Thurman stopped them there. George Rogers having another outstanding afternoon. He only got hurt a little bit last week in the Dallas game, but he shrugged that off during the week in practice. Sore ankle and forgot about it. He's running full board today. First down, Washington. They lead at 28-14. We're in the fourth quarter now. And it's Rogers with a lot of room this time, and he uses it to the 31-yard line. You can see that St. Louis defense starting to sag some, Terry, and of course they've had guys go out today already. Mack went down with a shoulder. Junior's been in and out of the lineup with sore ribs. We don't see him out there now, so they're hurting, and you can see that the Washington Redskins pounding starting to take its toll.
Well, they're coming back to the weak side or to their left side, and they're doing a good job with their tackle and guard of sealing everything down inside, pulling the off guard, and getting them out to lead on the backers, which leaves big gaps after 6-7 yards of pop.
Second and a long 3 for the Washington Redskins. Shadows creeping across the field at RFK. Rogers again, a busy man, gets to the 30-yard line for another yard and a half. It'll leave 3rd and 2. Jay Schrader coming off a couple of lackluster performances against the Saints and last week's defeat at the hands of the Cowboys, but been sharp today. And Rogers has carried the ball 29 yards and comes 29 times for 118 yards. Comes out of the ball game a little bit hurting this year. Just a well-deserved rest. Keith Griffin in the lineup to replace him. Pass intended for Monk. Schrader couldn't get it there. Good pressure from the linebacker. That was Freddie Joe Nunn, number 53 on the blitz.
That's the thing that had happened in the past. They would get that pressure on Schrader, force him to make a bad pass. That time he had Monk wide open, and he threw the football in the ground.
Well, Max Zendejas, one of the kicking Zendejases. Sounds like the flying Walendas or whatever, but there's a whole bunch of Zendejases who are kickers, and he is here to replace the legendary Mark Mosley, who after struggling this season was let go after a distinguished career, and they have a new soccer-style kicker. Max Zendejas attempting his first Redskin field goal. From the 37-yard line, he is wide and short, and some boos greet that effort. Well, they're tough here in Washington. Welcome to Washington, and boo.
Well, welcome to the NFL and boo, because that's kind of how it is for kickers.
47-yard attempt by Max Zendejas, fouls wide and short. We'll be back. The Skins in front. Bradshaw, and you can see that in the hearts of some of the fans here, Mark Mosley still is number 1. He was number 3, and some other signs of support for Mark Mosley, who set a bunch of records and one of the greatest kickers in the history of the NFL, but it just ran out on him, and his replacement is Max Zendejas, 3rd all-time NCAA field goal kicker. 4 brothers are kickers and 2 cousins, including Tony Zendejas of the Houston Oilers. And a rush on as flags fly. Lomax lost the football, but we'll see what happens here on first down from the 30-yard line. Manley poured in there again on the right side. Flags flew, and
Offside, number 72, defense, first down.
Jerry Markwright says this time Dexter was a little early.
You've had 3 sacks today, and you're anticipating the Cardinals having to throw the football, and he's smelling blood. No, he's having a great day, Dexter Manley, and he's sensing all this, and he's trying to anticipate, trying to get the jump, trying to get another sack, like a quarterback. Tim that's throwing the ball, throwing it well. Boy, you're going to line up, throw it, and throw it, and throw it. Well, that's what's going through Manley's mind. Boy, they're going to throw it. I'm going to sack them.
Louis Sharp has got to be having nightmares over there today against Dexter. He said he acknowledged this guy's great. I know I'm in for a long afternoon against him. Lomax trying to get it to Mitchell in a hurry. He was met by Curtis Jordan, number 22. No chance to catch the ball. Fine defensive play by the veteran Jordan.
Curtis Jordan doesn't play with his earring. I noticed the other day he had that earring. Didn't say anything about it. I asked him, I said, Curtis, you've got 3 interceptions this year. How are you doing it? Well, I mean, he looked at me right now, and he just looked to the heavens, and he looked right and left, and he said, man, I don't know. I just turn around and And there it is. I got no reason to explain it, but they're the weak safety that's leading the team in tackles.
How do you know he isn't wearing his earrings?
Because I checked it out a while ago.
Year-old of a woman. Mitchell, the left side, gets about 3.
Oh, there's your penalty.
And a late hit over there, evidently. Hamill and Jordan chasing him down. Imagine that Hamill with that run to the sideline from where he was.
He said, look, I've come this far. I'm going to get some action.
My goodness, he ran a long way from the middle of the field. 275-pound tackle.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 78 defense. Plays it out of bounds.
That Hamill, he stayed mad. He got mad and he stayed mad, didn't he, Gary?
Really? He hasn't forgotten that holding
Right.
yet. Now we see there's Jordan Curtis doing a good job on Mitchell, knocking him out of bounds. Now here comes the hit. Hey, no sense in that. Guy's out of bounds. No sense hitting him. I know you've run a long way and you're a big guy, but there's no sense in that.
So it's a first down, St. Louis. They got to make something happen on this drive. 9:18 to go, fourth quarter. They're in Washington territory at the 47-yard line. Mitchell in motion. Lomax gets some time. And it's intended for J.C. Smith. And he gets the flag. Number 32, Vernon Dean. Smith pointed it out, and out came the flag. That's cooperation.
In my opinion, he got away with one of those earlier today, and so now they come back.
Pass interference. Number 32 defense. Automatic first down.
Now they come back, and it doesn't even look like he puts his hand on the receiver and they throw a flag. So let's see.
I think they made some contact.
All right. Lomax going deep. There's the left arm out, but really, you tell me, Mr. Ryan. I'm the one taking all the heat here. You call that.
Well, I wouldn't have called that, frankly. And
there you go.
I think he kind of influenced the official into it.
Made him
J.C.
stand.
Smith, credit to him. First down, Cardinals. Earl Farrell stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Rich Malott, number 57, and Manley had a piece of him as well.
Now you can see this thing changing. Now they get a big play. The Cardinals get a big play. Pass interference. They're down here on the 15-yard line. Now if they take this football in and score, it's 28-21, and hey, anything can happen from there.
You're not kidding. 8:51 still to go. There's Gene Stallings, and feeling a little bit better about it, but he didn't like the way they ran the last play. That's my suspicion. Well, I tell you, he's gabby during the game. I love that big cowboy. Gene Stallings, he's fun to watch on the sideline. Second down, 9. Farrell, touchdown. Earl Farrell, he has 33 yards rushing, and he takes in the touchdown pass, his second of the day.
Credit the offensive line and the back for doing an outstanding job. They've got a safety blitz on. They're outmanned in the blocking scheme. No way they can pick it up. But look, they do a good job. Now Farrell slips in there. He gets behind Daniels. No one left. Touchdown. Boy, what a great play that was.
Lomax with another perfect strike to Earl Farrell, 15-yard score to get him back in the second period, the closing seconds of the first half from 8 yards out. Earl Farrell having a fine day. John Lee with a point after, and hang on your hat, folks. This one's got a long way to go. 8:28, still to play regulation time.
There's Farrell on the bench. You know, it's funny how you can think you have a team, but boy, you give anyone life in the National Football League, and anyone can come back and beat them.
That combination, Terry has hit it and closed the gap to just a converted touchdown.
Oglewitz 52 in the middle of your screen, blitzing. Now you see Jordan, the weak safety, blitzing. Everyone is blitzing, but gosh, I'm amazed at the offensive line and what a super job they did. And then all Farrell has to do is beat Daniels, which he does. Good job by Lomax. Touchdown. Hey, 28-21.
First time that Farrell has ever scored twice in one game. He's having a fine afternoon. 4 plays, 70 yards for the score. 3 Washington penalties. So turnovers and penalties have hurt Washington in the second half. That's not Joe Gibbs-style football.
Same thing against the Cowboys last week. Penalties, I swear they're killing.
Ken Jenkins, a short kickoff by John Lee. From the 15-yard line, Jenkins gets it out to the 30. You got to get a little deeper than that. You're giving that that return team, especially a good one like the Redskins, quite an opportunity.
Stallings said, he said, I was surprised at the guy. He's a good kicker, but he doesn't have the strong little leg as I saw. Neither one of these kickers appear to have that real strong leg. You can see that by the kickoff. Look at that. There you got the ball's all the way out to the 30-yard line.
So it is first down for Washington at their own 30-yard line. It puts added pressure on this Cardinals defense. They've got to get something stopped here in order to get the ball back and try and tie things up. Rogers back in the game. He had received some attention on the Redskins bench when he left during the last offensive series for Washington. He looks just fine.
Nico Noga.
Noga met him right at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to turn into a 1-yard loss.
For the last series of downs after the touchdown by the Cardinals came out, first play by Washington. Bang, they got in there and stopped them cold in their tracks. Second play, long pass down the middle to Didier. So now let's anticipate him. We'll get in Schrader's head here and anticipate a pass. It was successful last time. Will they do it again?
2nd and 10, they call it no gain. Monk in a kind of a stutter step motion. That's a strange motion. And it is incomplete, intended for Monk. Good tight coverage on him. Lionel Washington all over him on that play. Interesting kind of motion he was involved in there. Kind of stutter stepped his way back toward the ball and then tried to sneak back out into the middle, but Washington, who's had some problems with Monk in this game, stayed right with him that time.
Monk going back and forth is trying to get the leverage on Washington. If he can get him in a trailing position, Tim, then the quarterback and the receiver they'll play pitch and catch all day long. That's why they're doing that, back and forth, trying to get him trailing.
So it's 3rd down and 10 for the Redskins. He's Griffin in. Rogers out. Deep drop by Schrader. Intended for Monk, off the mark that time. Wayne Smith had the coverage on Monk. He was trailing, but Schrader did not hit his man. And so Washington has to punt. This is an interesting development. 7:30 to go. They're shut out on 3 straight downs, Terry.
Well, thing I notice now, we see the effects of the #1 pass defense. They finally got some pressure. They got their people covering tight. And then when when Cardinals finally put Washington in a pressure situation, they couldn't respond.
Well, this is what's happened. The last 5 times they've had the ball, they went 5 plays, had an intercept, went 2 plays, had a fumble, went 8 plays, fumbled again, both of them by Rogers, went 6 plays, missed a field goal, went 3 plays, and had this punt. So the Redskins are floundering. Sikahema over the 30-yard line to the 31 on Cox's punt. And St. Louis with a golden opportunity and a lot of time on the clock. 46-yard punt, 7-yard return. Let's see what Lomax and company can do, and more importantly now, what the Washington defense, which is always tough in the second half, whether they can stop the Cardinals before they get feeling too cocky about the way things are going for them. Lomax, 12 of 24, 129 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 of them to Earl Farrell, 1 to J.T. Smith. Schrader has 3 touchdown passes. Dump Mitchell on 1st down. Runs into traffic. Good second effort. Picks up 5. Charles Mann on the tackle for the Redskins. Mitchell with his knee wrapped in a ton of tape. Still sore, but like Rogers, playing a little hurt today, and both of them having a fine afternoon. Rogers over the 100-yard mark. 2nd and 5, St. Louis. Mitchell up to 49 yards on 13 carries. They've had a more balanced running attack, and Farrell getting the ball as well. This is Farrell. Lead back, gets only a couple. 6:30 and counting, and each of these 3rd down situations becomes critical for each team. But the Cardinals trailing, it means more to them. 28-21, Washington on top. Tim Ryan and Terry Bradshaw on a perfect fall afternoon at RFK Stadium.
We haven't seen Chaz Fox catch a pass. We haven't even mentioned his name today, but you got to get a sneaky feeling here that J.T. Smith's been their big guy along with Farrell. Maybe Fox could come in and be a hero here before this quarter's over.
Fox is to the left, Smith is wide right, and Fox in motion. Stump Mitchell spins and whirls and has the first down to the 41-yard line. Stump Mitchell, 5'9", 200-pounder at 255 yards rushing coming into the game. And what a vote of confidence from the new coach, Gene Stallings, making the trade, sending the veteran star, O.J. Anderson, off to the New York Giants, handing the ball to Stump. 1,000-yard man a year ago in a backup role. Up to 54 today. First down, Cardinals at the 42. By Sikahema is in at running back and lines up as a receiver in the slot. And now the rookie Fox in motion behind the ball, called over by Lomax, who might have changed the play. Lomax looking for a man, throws it to the sideline out of bounds in the general direction of Sikahema, but he just unloaded that one. Meanwhile, a flag down on the far side of the field, and it may be against the Redskins.
Well, Bernardine shaking his head as if, I can't believe you called that play. And now you can see that the Cardinals, Sharp, 67, is motioning against the Redskins.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 32, defense. Illegal hands to the face. Automatic first down.
Bernardine.
Dean against Fox over there, evidently.
Gosh, that Fox must be intimidating to get Vernon to play him like that, huh?
Well, that rookie Fox told us last night, I don't think that much of those Washington corners. I think I can turn them around. Here's a kid, a couple of games out of Furman, who's talking about Vernon Dean and Darrell Green. You had to love his attitude.
Well, he said, I'm a mental receiver, not a physical receiver. Maybe he's mentally intimidating as well.
7 penalties against the Redskins today. That's not Washington-style football. They're hurting themselves. And Farrell takes advantage, running hard for about 9.
Once again, the same play. Send Mitchell in motion. Takes Malott out of the play. He can't make the tackle. Malott goes with Mitchell wide, and they hand up to Farrell going up the middle. It takes another tackler out of the way, and then boom, Farrell's getting in there making yardage.
Let's see what
right up the middle. Look at this. He just picks his hole. Malott gets the hole. I mean, misses him. He pulls away. Okowitz, and then finally he's taken down. But that's what they're doing. Send him in motion.
So it is 2nd and 2. Out of the I formation, looked like some early movement. Flags are down. Mitchell was going to pass the ball there. At least had the option.
Doug Marsh.
Yeah, but they had flags everywhere. We'll see whether it's...
well, the tight end, Doug Marsh, Tim jumped offside.
He must have been the intended receiver, a little eager to get down there. Jerry Markbright in the shadows. Will give us the call.
False start, number 61, offense, 2nd down.
Well, it looked like Doug Marsh, number 80. They're calling Lance Smith the right tackle for a false start, but it appeared for me that Marsh, the tight end, is the one that jumped offside.
I think they both moved, Terry, and they just called out the Smith number, and he didn't want to hear it called, I'm sure, because he's been called a couple of times today already. I think you were right. They were both moving. So it backs them up. 2nd down and 8. Cardinals at their own 49.
Flip.
Mitchell.
Oh, watch the running.
Isn't he something? What an effort. 2 of the Redskins, Jordan and Charles Mann, had a piece of him, but Farrell doing the blocking helped to hold them off, and Mitchell did the rest.
What the Redskins did was stack their linebackers all inside, and what Mitchell was trying to do was get outside. He was forced back inside by Mann, number 71, and then eventually struggled forward. You know, one thing I noticed here is that Curtis Gordon, a fine free safety for the Redskins, is getting what we call nose trouble. He's really coming up and supporting the run. Be alert here for play action and try to burn him deep.
3rd down and a yard.
Not here.
They have the fullback Wolfley on the wing. They want that 1st down, and Farrell has it. Earl Farrell. So the Cardinals with 3:19.
You look for areas to strike. You know, you have people in the press box and people bringing plays in, but you look for areas to strike. And as a quarterback, you see that safety, you see him getting nose trouble coming up. Boy, you come out play action and get those guys in behind him.
Time ticking away under the 3-minute mark. Cardinals have the football and a 1st down at the 42-yard line of Washington. Play motion. Took some time. Out to Mitchell, incomplete. Malott was right there, having read the play, and it probably would have been a loss, assuming Malott would have made the tackle. He was right on Mitchell. So that turns out to be not so bad an incompletion for the Cardinals. Dallas and Philadelphia tied at 14 in the fourth period. A game of importance to both the Cardinals and the Redskins. Dallas at 4-2 in third place in the NFC East. The Eagles at 2-4.
Can you imagine what it would be like, or what Lomax is? Boy, if he had Green, if he had Tilly with 28-21 score, the confidence he would have running those guys all over that football field.
Lomax's numbers not super, 12 of 25, but he's got 3 touchdown passes. Scoreboard is all that counts. Farrell hit and stopped. Big Dave Buck and Hamill put the initial contact on him. Boy, there is a load. 300-pound Butt, 275-pound Hamill. Farrell trying to carry both of them. That's nigh an impossibility. No gain.
It's what you call going to the well once too often. You hit them once, fine. Hit them twice, okay, that's fine too. 3 times, no, baby, not hard. Like those guys finally start making those reads, and they're going to take that away. You're going to have to find something else that'll work.
Veteran Butt, you see, 166 games, thinking about retirement. He said, when I quit, I want to take Coach Gibbs out for a bunch of beers. I'd like to get him a little rowdy. That's his plan when he retires.
That's what he said?
Yeah, he said that.
You making that up, or
no,
did you really say that?
Why would I make that up?
Because you make a lot of things
no,
up.
that's the darn truth. That's the darn truth. But, you know, I mean, after all, Coach Gibbs is known as kind of, you know, straight arrow, if you will. And Dave says that's what I want to do when I retire. We've got a timeout at the 2-minute warning. Washington by 7. 2 minutes to play. There's Coach Joe Gibbs. What's he thinking, Terry?
Well, he's concerned. Second half, they had this football game well in control, and now it slowly slipped away. Penalties again, mistakes. The same thing that happened to him last week against the Cowboys. It looked as though they'd overcome those mistakes. Schrader throwing the ball well, defensively playing well, but then fumbles and penalties and key pass interference have suddenly given the life to the Cardinals.
There's the owner, Jack Kent Cook, using the binocs to get a close look on this big third down play. 3rd and 10 for the Cardinals. Biggest play of the game from the 43-yard line of Washington, and he hits Farrell. Farrell is going to be shot right in his tracks.
Angelo Snipes, great play.
Number 59, Angelo Snipes, working in that spot, vacated by Kaufman and Coleman because of injuries. And it'll be 4th down. They have to go, of course. They got 4 yards on the play.
Why throw a 3-yard pass? You need 8 yards. He was well covered by Snipes, you know. Why throw to him? Get the football down the field.
Now they got to get it down the field. 4th and a long 6 required to get the first down from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left.
Blitz.
Has his man and a first down. Troy Johnson, number 87, the rookie from Southern.
Gosh, these guys must have ice water running through their veins. Lomax is down. As you can see, the blitz is going to come straight up the middle. Lomax coming back, standing there. Boy, look at that. Cool as a burglar. Good route. Johnson down there, got past the first down marker, turned around. Lomax got him the ball, but Neal got a shot in his ribs. As you can see, he's holding the left side.
Barry Wilburn made the tackle on Johnson, but not in time to stop him from the first down. A huge play by Lomax and the rookie Troy Johnson.
Stalling said about Lomax, it's not his fault this offense has been going. He doesn't have his receivers, a lot of breakdowns, but he said the guy's giving me everything he has. He's courageous. He's a dogged type of a determination. He said that's just what we need at quarterback, and he's giving it to us.
We're down to 59 seconds. We're going to see that hit again.
You're going to see right up the middle, Daniels 56 coming right. Look, no one picks him up. Now, folks, listen to me. Lomax knows that he's going to get hit. He knows that guy is free, and yet he still had the courage to stand in there, deliver the ball, and then take his shot. Been in the shotgun, he would have been sacked right off the bat. No one picked up Daniels.
That's right.
So the shotgun that time enabled the Cardinals to make the first down.
Good point, Jerry. And they are 3 of 3 making 4th downs today, the Cardinals. Right now, though, they've got to get into the end zone. 59 seconds to play. They give him time. Can't find a man. He'll run it. Get to the 25-yard line. A gain of about 5. Maybe 6 yards for Lomax. in the hurry-up, 45 seconds and counting. Nikahema has to charge off the field.
Wasting time. They don't know where to set up.
They had the wrong guy on the field. Sideliner open. That is Stump Mitchell.
No, out of bounds.
Mitchell tried to get extra yards and stayed inbound. They called timeout.
All right, this is where Stump messed up. 2 yards past the first down marker does you no good. You catch the ball, you make the first down. Out of bounds, out of bounds. Don't try to get 2 more yards. Get out of bounds and kill that clock. He forced Lomax to call a timeout. Now look, Neal standing in there, gets the ball out to Mitchell. Okay, now there's your first down. See that little yellow stripe, that orange thing on the ground? Get on out of bounds. You don't need to go 2 more yards.
Possible that he didn't know whether he had the 10 yards. He was turned inside the catch.
Timeout. You can't call a timeout. You've got, what have we got here? 14 yards. You can't allow the guys to be tackled before they get out of bounds, so you've got to get the football into the end zone or get it out on the perimeters, which I don't think the Redskins are going to allow them to do.
2 rookie receivers. Fox, Johnson, along with the veteran J.T. Smith. Farrell and Mitchell are the running back. Mitchell into the pattern. Lomax gets his man, and it's Troy Johnson.
18, 17. Now you got to hurry up.
Time counting down. They got to about the 10-yard line. Let's see where they spot the forward progress. Won't matter. They just got to chuck it into the end zone. And Lomax just grounds the ball.
Grounding. All right, grounding costs you a down. Right now, that cost him a down.
6 seconds left. The flag came down, and he evidently got stepped on. Lomax is having to sit down out there. Apparently, he got stepped on. So it is going to be Cliff Stout with everything hanging on him. 6 seconds to play. Second down. Has to get it in the end zone. It's had very little warm-up. Under pressure, gets the ball off. Caught by Chaz Fox. But that's going to be the game. He only got it to the 10-yard line, and the Redskins hold him off. What a finish in RFK Stadium. The Redskins hanging on for dear life. Joe Gibbs knows that he has just avoided the bullet there. Gene Stallings looks disappointed. Neil Lomax in pain on the second last play of the game, and Gibbs making his way over there to Coach Stallings and to Neil Lomax. So the Redskins move now to 6-1. The final score, the Redskins 28, the Cardinals 21.